So, as you probably heard by now, the robots are coming.
Oh yeah, they are.
And they're coming for our jobs.
Oh, well, that's not nearly as funny.
Now, these aren't just jobs that we might traditionally have thought of automation taking over, like factory work or transportation work. It's also going to be jobs like doctors.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
So, for example, a surgeon robot can hold in its head sort of infinitely more information around diseases, symptoms, side effects than a human can. And it's probably going to be infinitely more precise in an operating theatre.
Yeah, except they're not, really. From an appropriately titled article from May of this year, Why an Autonomous Robot Won't Replace Your Surgeon Anytime Soon, Wired magazine explains quite succinctly, but the robots are coming. They're just not coming for any doctor's jobs yet. To get hospitals to trust robots, their makers have realized, you can't make doctors obsolete. You have to make them feel like Iron Man. Hence the popularity of Intuitive Surgical's Da Vinci system for minimally invasive surgery, whose insect-like arms are operated by a surgeon sitting at a control booth. At worst, and for the foreseeable future, robots will be supplementing doctors, not replacing them. So, nothing to worry about there.
Now, it might seem a bit strange to be entrusting your life or the life of a loved one to what is essentially a machine.
Pacemakers. Just throwing that out there.
But logically it makes sense. The only thing is, for a lot of people...
A lot of people being men?
Maybe emotionally it doesn't.
Hashtag masculinity so fragile.
And that is the slight snag in the robot takeover. And this little snag is essentially the idea that, at least right now, there is a separation between humans and robots, however lifelike they might appear, which is all about genuine emotion and empathy. And that snag means that the last jobs to fall to our robot overlords are going to be women's jobs.
Well, now, this is a first. Women can't be surgeons now? Am I looking at the right channel? This is supposed to be a feminist channel, right? Nope, I'm in the right place.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. That was just a smidget of my very first episode here on YouTube 11 years ago. Today's the 11th. 8 years ago today, on the 11th, I did a commentary video about a feminist talking about the sensitivity of males over the potential of losing their jobs as doctors to robots. Yes, this is how I began. And have I come all that far since? You'll have to be the judge. Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Very loose show today. Just hanging out with people as they show up, talking for a bit, doing some games maybe doing a TEDx at some point, reminiscing about the old times, granted that I have any old-timers find their way here from their schedules. A few things first off and foremost. At the top of the chat, you'll see a link there to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, helpfully provided by the den mother of the channel, Kiever Dam. If you guys could take a look at that when you have the opportunity. And donate if you are able, but even if you're not, if you can, share that out on social media, that'd be appreciated. As I've mentioned before, earlier this year, my father was diagnosed with leukemia. He's doing fine now. He's gotten the treatment that he needs. But it is a devastating disease that I'll probably end up having at some point in my life. And so all the help that's given now to try to find a cure or treatment will benefit me. So this is all very selfish of me. So please donate to help cure a disease that I might need some help with in the future. Thank you so much. Also, Kiro Soldier, thank you so much for the #1 Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox.
Wowie, wow, wow.
Oh, there's a Weebo Jones Dogcat Fox. And to Austin, thank you so much. It's very generous of you with the samurai trophy-wielding Dogcat Fox. Oh, Dogcat Fox.
Wowie, wow, wow.
Oh, there's a Roan Harushan Dogcat Fox. Thank you so much, Austin. Also, Miranda Stone's in the chat. Everybody knows a Miranda Stone, don't you? And there's Miranda Stone. Boy, there's so many people here. Also, it's Price of Reason. Hey, Bryce.
Hey, how's it going?
Goes all right, everyone. For those of you that don't know, Price of Reason is one of my, I guess, in general terms, more recent YouTube friends, coming from Midnight's Edge After Dark and Midnight's Edge. And you can check him out over on Price of Reason and Price of Reason Live, where he covers episodes of Quantum Leap on a weekly basis, as well as doing semi-weekly shows, or I think twice weekly, the Night Owl, yeah. talking about entertainment news and other such things.
You've been a guest on that, yeah.
I have, strangely enough, and it's all your fault that my audio keeps getting messed up because Rumble doesn't like my microphone for some reason.
I apologize for that, but you
were
great when you were on.
You were on. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad to help out when I can.
And by the way, we have been hanging out on Midnight's Edge for a while. It's just, if you're looking at it 8 years, then I guess in that sense, it's relatively recent. But
like I say.
Yeah, we've known each other for maybe a year and a half or something. That's when I think I started doing stuff on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Yeah, time flies, though, because I tell you, there's... I started, when I was working on figuring out who I was going to send invites to, I was going down my list in my Twitter DMs of all my friends, acquaintances, or contacts and things, and I'm just like, I got a lot of people here. And then it's like one of those sort of like happy problems, I suppose you can say. It's just like, boy, I have so many people to choose from. Who am I going to invite on to talk that I've met on YouTube over the course of time? Of course, not even to mention all the people who are just, and I use that word in the most loosest terms, just audience members like Noah Alex Asensio. And who else is here? Sentimental Nation. And Mr. X51. And of course, Miranda Stone. Don't worry, Miranda, I won't do the intro again there for you. Don't want to embarrass you too much. Attack Alpaca. Angelverse. Who else is here? Funtime Bats. JB. Ryan R. The Best Remy. Anthem Ward. Let's see. John Trioxin. Fostonia. Boy, oh boy. All You Need. Who else is here? Simon Willikins. Going down the list. Pincalo, the Driving Ape Man. And of course, Pincalo is the husband of Blind Press, who may or may not end up on the show today, depending. I don't know what the schedule is. Spoonie the Rebel. Daryl Odell. Keldrig, of course. Mike Savage, Blarg. And the thing that is really flattering, I guess, is that the other day as YouTube sometimes does, it recommends to me my own stuff. And it recommended to me a live stream of mine from, 5-6 years ago or something now, something like that. And I just played it for the first couple of minutes, and as I was saying hello to all the people in the chat, some of those same names are some of the names I just listed off just now. The idea that people have stuck with me for, if not the majority, but sometimes the totality of my run here on YouTube is just, like I say, beyond flattering, and I'm very grateful for everyone's time and attention over the years. I hope I've been able to provide you something worthwhile to listen to.
I have a very random question, and don't laugh.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
I have the mute button ready so I don't outright. Go ahead.
I feel like I hear somebody playing a piano, but I don't know where that person is coming from.
Oh. Well, you see, that's one of the fun parts of StreamYard is that you can play background music of your choice. Yeah, so
okay.
that's intentional. That's not an accident.
See, while you were talking, I was in a completely different place because I'm thinking maybe there's something around me that's causing that, and I'm like, I'm ruining the stream now.
No.
I caused there to be a piano player, and meanwhile, And meanwhile, it was legitimately here, part of the stream, and it wasn't me, and it wasn't anything in the background here. So
No, we can pretend that your arrival brought on the magic of piano music.
no, I like the piano. It's cool. It's just it's not my choice to put on. How do I explain it? It's your choice if you want a piano or not, and that I would somehow impose a piano. I didn't want to be the piano imposer. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
So you don't like the piano music?
No, I love the piano. I thought it was a really cool idea. But what I'm saying is that if it was like coming from a window that I'm doing something, or somebody next to me is playing music, I would have wanted to know that, because that would mean that I didn't consult with you. I just brought a piano.
No, so what I did was I took a whole bunch of piano tracks from YouTube's free audio library, and I just smooshed them together into one long audio file, so I wouldn't have to have the same song looping over and over again, and I just put it on here as a background music.
It's very clever. I really like this idea. Actually, I've never attempted or thought to myself, what if it was like a cool jazz piano vibe in the background while people were talking. I think that's kind of cool, actually.
Wait a second here. Hold on. I knew this would happen. I knew there'd be somebody that I would inadvertently forget to send the link to, and I obviously just did, and I have now corrected that. Let's see. And I got people telling me now we'll be there shortly. Oh, you're about to meet a whole bunch of new people, Price.
I am ready for it. Really
Attack Alpaca. Thank you so much, Attack Alpaca. Happy anniversary. I missed the old Lawton days, but the TED Talk streams are plenty entertaining. Well, I have a little reminiscing about Lords of the Night for later. I think at least one, maybe two of my old co-hosts might be able to make it on today. We'll see. But if nothing else, I do have a little bit of a reminiscence for those of you who missed the old Lords of the Night days.
Well, I'm honored to be here regardless, and I'm happy to meet new people. So.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things I've been really sort of surprisingly glad to have had the opportunity to do in over time, is to introduce people to one another from different genres or different areas of the YouTube sphere, because sort of like I was in high school, I wasn't really in any particular clique, but I knew people in a bunch of different places, and especially with the true crime stuff that I cover, and bringing on different content creators from the true crime sphere who may not have met before, or at least familiar with each other's work, or some of the other panel discussions I've done. That's always really cool, is to have new people meet that have shared interests but might work in different genres or different fields of things.
Yeah, you're a connector of people.
Yeah, like Midnight's Edge After Dark felt like that, because I don't feel like I belong anywhere. You know, I feel out of place half the time. Especially like today, I was invited onto Midnight's Edge in the morning, and I'm like, I'm the stowaway on the pirate ship, and I don't know what I'm doing here. It's an imposter syndrome half the time. Speaking of imposter syndrome, it's Drunken Uncle without an avatar.
Oh, Scribe, how you doing?
Hey, Drunkle, how are you?
Happy 8th anniversary, my friend.
Well, thank you so much.
Wow-wee! Wow! I never once regret making that for you.
Yeah, I love having all my little friend stingers for Dog Cat Fox. But yes,
little
for those
friend.
of you that don't know, little friends, Drunken Uncle.
I'm massive. I'm like the size of a moomin.
Yes, you're taking up a third of the screen.
Hell yeah.
Drunken Uncle.
Yeah,
this is Price of Reason. Oh no!
Price.
Yeah, Drunkle's Welsh, so keep the sheep away from him. I wonder if Brian will show up, because Brian, our friend, 70s rocker, he and Drunkle might have some things in common to talk about.
Well, I'm not Welsh.
It's
so,
okay. I know.
It's not.
It's all right.
It's living for one, isn't it?
Living in denial. It's all right. It's okay.
Well, right. This is my first time meeting Drunkle, so it's an honor.
Yes,
Drunkle
the honor
is all mine, Price of Reason.
Long-time friend on YouTube, had a very tumultuous history on YouTube and/or Twitter. I don't think he's allowed on Twitter anymore.
I am banned from Twitter. That's correct.
Yeah. Drunkle. Well, he's been on the triple. How long is the AAA stream going on now?
Oh Jesus, we're on episode 500 and something of this incarnation of it. We did 300 with Ghastly
Oh yeah, Ghost
Before that,
Poo.
we did
Oh yeah.
No, I mean that was AAA. That was Alcohol Apparitions and Ammo. Before that, Ghost Poo with Irate Alex, or then Irate Bear. That was 300 episodes. So me and Sin have done over 1,000 episodes together.
Sure.
And it's the best goddamn meeting online. I miss the days when Lords of the Night used to come on afterwards as well. We had some prime time viewing. We had some good slots.
And how long have you been on YouTube now, Drunkle? I think at least 8 years.
It's 8 years on November the 2nd, Scribe.
Okay, all right. You see, a lot of people are like, we're all contemporaries. Because like me and Tailed Feature and Sinatra and Ranting Monkey and Satsu, Drunkle, some people who aren't even on YouTube anymore. We used to have this Twitter chat room where every day we'd say good morning to each other, depending on what our mornings were. Speaking of saying hello to people, Blind Press!
Hi. Oh, Blind Press.
Hello, Blind Press. It's Blind Press, everybody. If you guys don't know who Blind Press is, well, let me tell you about Blind Press. First off, she has no eyeballs, but she plays Mortal Kombat in competition online. So if you can believe it, and she's Canadian. The one thing she can't live down is she's Canadian.
Hey, we're doing our best.
I love Blind Press's game streams.
Oh, thank you, Drunkle.
How are you doing,
I'm
Blind?
always popping up in there. It takes a while to reply because you've got to wait for your phone to read out the comments.
Yeah, it does.
It's a good setup, and she is insanely good at Mortal Kombat.
I'm trying.
it is. I mean, it's very impressive, and I marvel at it every time that I watch. I'm just like, I don't understand, but whatever she's doing a better job than I could. I can't play those games. I'm terrible at fighting games. I just absolutely suck at them.
But you're great at everything else, Scribe. So, it swings around, it evens out. Well, if you're not the champion of Mortal Kombat, you'll always be the champion of my heart. Unfortunately, I've got to get on there because I'm currently on a Twitch stream, which I think people are wondering what the hell's going on, how they can hear your voice on my Twitch channel.
Uh-oh. Wait, I'm being dual broadcast right now. You didn't ask for... I claim copyright on your stream for using my stuff, gosh dang it.
DMCA!
That's right,
DMCA. That's why I got to go. No, it's just a sample. It's legal if it's under 10 minutes.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, thank you for dropping in, Drunkle, and hello to all your audience there, and I hope you're enjoying your day with Drunkle and have fun gaming and all that good stuff over on the Twitch.
Happy anniversary,
take care, man.
My friend. Here's to many
Appreciate
more.
it. Take care.
See you, Drunkle.
And Blind, how long have you been on YouTube now?
Let's see. August 22nd was my anniversary. So, and I think the Blind Press channel was 2015, but I started uploading in 2017.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right. And also, Blind Press, this is Price of Reason, my other YouTube friend.
Oh, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
He covers primarily entertainment news and things like that, I guess. Is that effectively your wheelhouse, Price? Because you're kind of very eclectic.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that it's pop culture news, occasionally some gaming news, TV and movie reviews. And on my live channel, sometimes there's just kind of random things happening. Like from time to time, I do a secret karaoke stream. And sometimes I even do retro gaming.
Cool.
Oh, that's fun.
It is.
Yeah, I had always thought that maybe I'd end up in a sort of entertainment lane or something, but my first real introduction to YouTube was through the social commentary stuff roundabouts 2014, 2015. Sargon of Akkad, Hagbard Celine, Skeptor, of course, the Internet Aristocrat, aka Jim81 Jim, aka Mr. Medicare, aka Jim, and that's where I got my primary sort of inspiration, I suppose, the way that I started my channel out. But really, it was just because around then, 2014, 2015, my social group had started to become infected with the proto-woke virus of all things. It sounds, almost like dismissive or humorous now, but it really was a sea change for me socially in how everybody just it's seemingly overnight just went from people I could hang out with and just talk and whatever to suddenly now there was a litmus test for how you were perceived, whether or not you were agreeing with the right opinion or not.
It's true.
And I experienced such I was made pariah very quickly. And the only place that I had to talk about anything really socially online was Facebook at the time. And of course, if you say something that everybody suddenly decides to dogpile on you for there, everybody knows it. Your family, your friends, your interconnected people and everything. There was no, I don't mean to put it in these terms per se, but there was no safe place to express your opinion. And so I just kind of gave up on Facebook, and I've been watching some commentators and things on YouTube, and also the whole Gamergate thing at the time. And I thought, well, I don't know anything about video editing. I am not particularly jazzed about public speaking or risking putting my name out there or my voice or my ideas, because the other thing that people don't remember about around about that time is that cancel culture wasn't just a punchline. This was a situation where people would have their jobs called if they said the wrong thing online and attacked, and have their real lives impugned upon if you said something against the grain. And so that's in part what has continued keeping me relatively anonymous on here. But yeah, it was just a real need to have some catharsis, express my ideas, give my opinion on things without some overriding fear that I'd have some kind of disaster happen as a result.
So that makes sense. Like, that's kind of why I started my channel, and I'm trying to kind of settle into Canadian political commentary as what I do on my YouTube. And then I've been multi-streaming the just chatting stuff, and then I just do the gaming on Twitch only. But I was having the same problems. I was wanting to express my distaste and my displeasure for what was going on, and I was having members of my own family call me not right wing, and just straight up my grandfather is slightly racist. your old school racism, right? And whenever I would say something that my mother didn't like, she would just call me by his name. Just oh, wow, okay. So I would start making videos about not just politics, but I would see things in the social commentary about, LGBT stuff. And I consider myself part of that space. And I feel that the QIA2S plus segment has ruined it for everybody, because and I couldn't talk about that in my family sphere. I couldn't talk about that on Facebook like you. So I gravitated toward YouTube and found, like you were talking about, Skeptor and Cool Hard Logic and Logic. That was another Canadian guy. Before he went wackadoodle, Armored Skeptic.
Oh yeah. I've never watched a single one of his videos. The only time I ever saw that guy was when he co-starred on a couple of Shoe on Head videos.
Yeah.
And that was about it. Real quick, Devil Fruit Zero, another name that has been long on the channel. Devil Fruit Zero, thank you so much. Happy anniversary, Scribe. You are one of a kind. Well, that may or may not be a good thing. But I appreciate it, Devil Fruit Zero. Thank you so much. Also, if I didn't already say hello, Angela Ariaga. Good evening to you, or afternoon, I should say. I'm so used to saying good evening because of these things. Let's see. Tyr Alexander, the Scourge. Professor R2's in the chat. Hello, Professor R2. Another Night Owl veteran.
Professor's cool.
Yeah, Professor's cool. He's got a cool little animation for his R2-D2. Let's see. Real Wade Nation Gaming. Am I saying that correctly? Congratulations, Scribe. Thank you so much. And K Shoal. Hello to you, K Shoal. Again, I like this is Kyle. Yeah, it's like having this just constant sort of YouTube family of people, names I just recognize, and avatars. Like some people, I'll notice when their avatar changes and it'll throw me off for a second. I'll be like, wait a second, you changed your face. How did you do that? You're not the same person anymore. It's old time stuff here. But yeah, let's see. Gosh, yeah, thinking about old YouTubers that we just don't see anymore, or were big then and not so much now. some of the other inspirations for things. Truth be told, very early on, because, things change, the whole Gamergate thing, I listened to Mundane Matt quite a bit in the early days. And then things took a turn, but that's a whole other story that people have done documentaries about at this point, so that's probably not worth going into. The other thing, too, and this also goes sort of to having you guys on as guests and whoever else might show up, is just the weird sort of fanboy nature of, like, for example, I used to be, still am, when he posts videos now, Undoomed. Like, I would watch Undoomed all the time back in the day and everything, and I was just a viewer. I was just a fan. Just like with Midnight's Edge, I was just, one more fanboy watching all these videos and stuff. And the fact that over the last couple of years, I've ended up being invited onto streams with Undoomed, or now being invited onto Midnight's Edge. It's just, like I said before, it's like some kind of weird imposter syndrome, and I feel very grateful that I've had the opportunities. And it's all as a result of just doing this thing, and for whatever reason, making the random connections that I have as a result of it, which I never would have imagined.
It's very true. Like, you can talk to people in real life, and they know of some of these people now because of the way that YouTube is kind of blending with mainstream. And you can say, oh yeah, I knew them when they were this big on YouTube or X small on YouTube, and people will look at you and go, oh yeah, haha, right. And you're like, no, really?
Well, the weirdest thing for me is that, like, my mind about entertainment on a screen is still somewhat firmly set in the 80s and the 90s, let's say, or a pre-internet mindset. So when I was watching Undoomed before I decided to try out YouTube, Undoomed was, because I'd watch it on my TV or whatever, he was as much of a TV host as, say, Robert Stack was of Unsolved Mysteries. And so I'm watching TV, and it's never in my mind that I'd ever talk to Robert Stack. I'm never going to meet him or have a conversation with him or anything. So part of my mind is sort of trained to see people that I see on TV or commentators otherwise as kind of like, stars, like on a Mount Olympus or something. And then the idea that I would, and again, ever talk to them directly or be in touch with somebody like that on a regular basis, just sort of, whoa, that just blows my mind. But I guess that's sort of the leveling nature of the internet and this weird sort of splinter of the entertainment sphere that we've all ended up in one way or another. A couple other hellos here. Gen T Maxi is here. Hey, Gen T Maxi. Another veteran of the channel. Bob J. Boblin, FTG Farms Incorporated CEO. Howdy from FTG Farms. Well, hello, Bob J. Boblin. Boblin? Let's see, who else? Oh, and Picalos, of course, is in the chat. The husband of Blind Press. Now, why doesn't he have his own channel and show at this point? I don't know. Does he just defer to you?
He does have a YouTube channel, and he just honestly put all his efforts into helping produce my stuff.
Oh, sure. Okay, that's fine.
He is the producer and the like manager and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So he does all the behind the scenes stuff. Like, without him helping me, it would look like shit and sound like shit, and I would be like, oh, I don't know what videos to look at, because I like to watch and react to different videos if I'm not doing political stuff. So he helps me find things that aren't boring, or because I will admit I kind of tend to zone out and put on Mortal Kombat videos and listen to them, because believe it or not, if I'm listening to a video that's got commentary where they're telling you what move is happening, you can kind of put it with the sound, and at that point then you start remembering what sound was what move. So when you're playing against whatever character, you're like, okay, that was that move that I heard earlier. That's a overhead. so I have to block in this specific way.
See, this is the genius of your ability to just associate sounds in the video game with character moves and everything else, and know how to react accordingly with your own counter moves. It just blows my mind every time I think about it. It really does. Price, I should ask you, what started you or inspired you to start doing YouTube?
I thought maybe I told you at some point. I actually started off writing stuff on Twitter.
What? Writing stuff on Twitter?
No, okay, I didn't explain that well. I saw The Last Jedi, and I didn't like it. And I felt that something was strange was happening, especially that, whatever knowledge I had when it comes to entertainment, I kind of felt that I thought a certain thing was happening when I saw that movie. But when I looked online, the mainstream media, those things were just peddling what seemed to be some kind of narrative. And until that day, I really wasn't very interested in social media at all. I had a Twitter account, kind of one that without my real name, that I probably had already for a few years and never posted anything. And I never even went there to see what people were saying, and I didn't care. But suddenly I had the urge to, because I thought to myself, maybe people didn't like this movie. It seems silly to say this now, but at that moment when it came out, it wasn't clear. So I started looking and gradually seeing that there's people that are actually saying things that I agree with. And then I started just posting my opinions. And gradually I made friends with a lot of people, just like what Blind Press was saying, that some of them today have really big, followings and channels and things like that. And I just started making friends with people just based on our opinions, that we just thought something fishy was going on. We didn't like what happened with that movie. And for a minute there, I kind of thought to myself, well, why don't you create a type of Twitter account which reports on news in a very brief way, and all the stuff that's happening in entertainment, you just tell it like it is. Kind of, and at around the same time, I believe, you had that kind of discussing film. Mine was sort of on the other side of the spectrum of discussing film. Rather than just shilling the narrative or pushing whatever you see in the trades, I would add a little bit of analysis as to what's really happening. And I think that what I was doing at that time really caught on, and I even had my tweets starting to appear because they were really gaining traction. Some of them would even appear in kind of mainstream media newspapers.
Oh, that's
wow.
Yeah, and as wow as that was also what led pretty much to the demise of the whole situation, because I have no way to prove it, but I think that after a few articles even linked to my Twitter account where I criticized Lucasfilm and things like that, suddenly what I noticed is, I'm not saying that I have any proof that they caused this, but suddenly I was shadow banned very frequently. I tweet something, and in some cases the tweet would disappear. They had different tactics during those days. They either shadow ban your account. Sometimes it would be like for 48 hours, sometimes for a week, sometimes for 2 weeks. You don't know how long it's going to be at that point in time. Sometimes there's just a tweet that was doing well, and they'd shadow ban that specific tweet. And I already learned how to kind of go behind the scenes and look. There were all these tools online where I would start learning how this is done. And there's even, have you ever heard of Reclaim the Net?
No.
Maybe.
Anyhow,
Vaguely.
Reclaim the Net is sort of an independent news publication that looks into these matters and reports on things like this. And they actually investigated something that happened to my account, and there were even articles written about how my account was being shadow banned. But none of this helped me. At the end of the day, with the previous regime of Twitter, they effectively, any momentum I had, they just ruined it. So I wasn't, I'm not I don't want to be like sour grapes. At the end of the day, it didn't work for whatever reasons, and I don't own Twitter. I didn't own it then, and I don't own it now. You have to always take that into consideration when you're trying to launch something. It is kind of a bummer that I was silenced, and I think that at that point, knowing that most of my tweets don't get viewed as much and all that, I started thinking, well, why don't I try something else? And then I went to YouTube, and I had this whole other idea. I wanted to go around and interview people, at events, on the street, like do all this cool stuff. But as I was just getting that together, I had the coup broke out.
Oh, yeah.
So I had like a video that I'm at Comic-Con maybe in 2019. Around this time, it's probably around 5 years since I even if your anniversary is 8 years, mine is kind of 5, I guess. So I posted a video there, but then there was Couve, and it kind of took the wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
But somehow at some later point, I just said, well, why don't you just try to put up some reviews and some videos? And I don't know. I think that it's still a work. I don't want to say it's still a work in progress, but I'm doing better now than I did when I started doing this more frequently. But
yeah, well, a lot of things. A lot of things changed around the time that I started up, along with so many other people. Like we all became like this little tribe because we all started our channels around the same time. It was like I said before, it was like me and Drunken Uncle and Tailed Feature and Ranting Monkey and Sats at 2 Cents and Sinatra Says. And it was just around that time that the first real adpocalypse happened. So all of us joined on to this thing right on the tail end of, I guess, the golden age if you were trying to be a commentary channel and actually make something of a living at it, because all of a sudden then nearly everything, especially commentary channels, were getting clamped down on. And I remember one of our old friends, Gutenberg. Those of you that remember Gutenberg, literally Hitler. Yeah, Gutenberg.
Good old Gutenberg.
He used to put out like some great videos on some of the protests that were happening at colleges or in cities and stuff, and some things taking down social justice warriors and all that. And he'd talk about something like, it's great getting like a $3,000 check every month for a couple of these videos. And I was just like, wow. And of course, that all went away inside of 6 months because it was just... everything changed and then nothing could get monetized. Of course, I never, and still to this day, I don't look at this as personally, and that's just not anybody else, just me. I've never tried to look at this as anything other than a glorified hobby, because I already have a full-time job, thankfully, and I want this to be fun and, like I say, catharsis, a venting mechanism, and not to stress out about it. I want it to be something that I enjoy looking forward to and not a job. So it's never been a concern for me that it become a primary revenue stream or something else. I just want to... the original notion was just to have a place to speak my mind. And if I got beyond 20 subscribers, I thought at the time, I'd be impressed. Because, 20 people that want to listen to me on a semi-regular basis, it boggles my mind. And then, although I started seeing, as I started posting things, over time, people kept saying, why isn't your channel bigger? You're criminally undersubbed. You're criminally undersubbed. And I said, you know what? When I hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to start a series called Criminally Undersubbed, and I'm going to just do little videos that promote other YouTubers who are smaller that need more attention. And I did that, and the playlist is on my channel. And then I started having strangers coming along saying, hey, can you do one of those for me? And I was like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, that's weird.
A little awkward. Anyway, Professor R2, thank you so much. Happy anniversary to the sagacious Scribe Light.
Ooh.
What do you call a droid who likes to take the scenic route? RTD tour. I'm sorry, R2. I said RT. R2D tour. Oh,
yes, punchline. R2D tour.
Thank you, Professor R2. Oh, well, given that he's done that, I have to respond with. Thank you, Professor R2. Appreciate it. And Keeverdam says, you're still criminal. I know. Well, see, here's my problem. I don't know how to use the algorithm correctly. I don't monetize most of my videos. And monetizing something immediately gives you a plus into entering into the algorithm, because YouTube's then, well, at least there's an opportunity for us to make some money, too, on the ad side.
Well, you should monetize it, then.
I've started monetizing those things where I'm just talking, like articles and stuff. But I didn't really bother because of the adpocalypse, just about everything I tried to monetize back in the day would either be immediately demonetized or yellow dollar signed into maybe you'll be monetized. So I kind of gave up on it. I was like, oh, what's the point? Like I said, I have a full-time job. I don't look at this as a job, so I didn't really worry about it too much. But my biggest mistakes were A, not monetizing if I cared, and B, I'd always make up early on in my channel. I'd make up these clever titles for my videos. Oh, okay, that were very punny, but didn't actually tell you specifically what the thing was about. So the algorithm had nowhere to tell where to index it. So I always came up with clever titles and clever thumbnails, but I was very bad at making up titles that apparently would click with the programming. So, I hear a bunch of...
I had to let my oldest in the house.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, some of us are responsible adults with children. The rest of us are just like these lazy bachelors sitting around talking all the time.
well, you were saying that your YouTube is more like your hobby. I have mine is my job. So I have the luxury. I made it a hobby. I try to think of it as a hobby, so I don't take it too seriously and try not to get stressed out, because stress is one of those elements that's been in my life for the better part of my adulthood because of anxiety disorder, which now I thankfully have a much better handle on than I did at the beginning. But as little stress as I can intentionally create in my life, all the better. So trying to look at all this as a fun escape. Roasted Opinions, another longtime viewer. Many returns of the day. Looking forward to 16 years of Scribe. Oh good Lord. I don't know about that, man. If I'm still here another 8 years from now, I'm still thinking I should probably call it at 10 years. I think a decade in this is probably a good chapter of life. That's about as long as my previous life chapter lasted up until I started YouTube. But I guess we'll see. Also, Spud Gun, if I didn't see you there earlier, a video idea, but you'll need a couple of streams. It's from Tavistock. Don't know what that is. Whiteness, a Problem for Our Time, January 2021 Policy Seminar. Tavistock. I was going to say, that's a town in Ontario. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was a kind of version of Woodstock or something for a second.
There's that in Ontario too.
You might need to zap me that link or somewhere. Speaking of links and zapping and stuff, I should probably... Oh, hold on a second. I got a message here. From Mr. Black Pasta. Mr. Black Pasta, one of my true crime friends. He says, we are all sick again this week. No. Since he started preschool, been sick. Okay. Okay. Well, Mr. Black Pasta sends his regards, but unfortunately he and the family are down with the sickness. So if you guys don't know about Mr. Black Pasta, let me tell you about Mr. Black Pasta. Mr. Black Pasta is probably, and no offense to my other true crime friends, but I gotta say, if you look at Mr. Black Pasta's videos, they are some of the best produced true crime, as far as like just production value on YouTube. His channel's called The Disturbing Truth. Up until relatively recently, he was a one-man shop. And when you look at some of his early videos, boggles the mind that this guy's doing all this stuff all on his lonesome. Because the visuals that he uses, the editing, everything else is just top shelf. So look up The Disturbing Truth on YouTube, but steel yourself. The subject matter he covers is not gentle, not easy to take in, but he's doing it for a point, and to bring to light some things that people usually don't talk about, but he doesn't. It's the unvarnished stories of some of these things. And speaking of someone who's maybe not unvarnished, but also Canadian, the Script Doctor. Hello, Script Doctor.
Good afternoon. Happy to be here.
Yes.
Congratulations on 8 years.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to have you. Also, Script Doctor, this is Blind Press, and I think you know Price of Reason.
Sorry about that.
No, I think I've streamed with Blind Press on your channel before some time ago, actually.
Did you?
Okay. Yes, I believe so.
All right. Well, hey, there you go.
And also acquainted.
And speaking of acquaintances, Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge.
This music makes me want to talk like this.
I know. It's just a loungy lizard. Everybody can be a lounge lizard here. Yes, Tom Connors, I like as an example of someone who I don't know why I keep going back to Robert Stack. It's just when I think of like a presenter on a show I watched as a kid, and I think this is someone who exists far beyond the sphere of mortal men kind of thing. Tom Connors is one of those, because I used to listen to Midnight's Edge and everything.
I'm Robert Stack, and this is Unsolved Mysteries.
Yes, and so I ran into Tom Connors just by chance on an Undoomed stream. Undoomed invited us both on at one point, and I was absolutely starstruck. I was like, I don't know what to say. Both I'm on an Undoomed stream, and here's Tom Connors. Like, what am I going to do? And from that time forward, he and I have kept in touch, and then just bit by bit over time, I'm now part of the crew, it feels like. I don't know if I'm overstating it, but that's what it feels like from time to time, and I'm just very glad. Another benefit of this whole YouTube experience is just meeting these guys. Script Doctor, since you were here a little bit first, now how long have you been on YouTube?
Uh-oh.
He must have stepped away.
Yeah, he must have stepped away. Okay, well then, Tom, I'll go to you. How long have you been on YouTube?
Oh, I've been trying to do this now for like 13, 14 years, give or take, something like that.
Wowzers. Yeah.
And like you, I think I've had the most success in the last 7 or 8, give or take. So like, yeah, congratulations on all your time spent.
Yeah, tenure and persistence. A couple more hellos here. Jim Heelis, another long time. Again, some of the names in this chat, I would be hard pressed to say that you haven't been around for the entirety of the 8-year run, practically.
Yeah, these are all OG names.
I know. It's like an old tribe here and everything. Keldrig, thank you so much. Happy anniversary, Scribe. Thank you, Keldrig, very much. Keldrig, another OG part of the Scribe tribe. I never tried to popularize that. I really did. I didn't want to say. I didn't want to open up shows going like, "Hey there, Scribe Nation, how's it going today?" But I think it was a tailed feature that coined Scribe Tribe a long time ago. But I've never put it on a T-shirt yet. Script
I
Doctor.
don't tell my viewers patience because that would just be insulting.
Yeah, he's like, you need some help. How long have you been on YouTube, Script?
I started my channel when I was in LA in April of 2019.
Oh, so you're practically a baby here compared to the rest of us.
Oh yeah.
And how have you found success so far on YouTube, or what do you mark as a success on YouTube?
The fact that it helped me maintain my hold outside of the Hollywood bubble a lot easier, because I would commute. Because I usually would spend my summers in LA, which was always grueling, because that's when work was busy for me, and then I'd come back to Canada during the winter, which was, Canadian winter, and that's how I'd kind of have a reset. But one of the advantages I've had with YouTube is that I'm actually able to get in touch with different types of audiences that were otherwise outside of my reach when I'd be in LA, and it's been quite informative and quite helpful.
Yeah, my main driver for doing this was not only to have an opportunity to express myself, but really the problem I encountered on Facebook with my social group that was bizarrely transitioning into this sort of SJW, now what we call woke attitude about things, was the seeming inability I had there to simply question someone who was putting themselves and comporting themselves in a position of authority about what they said was true about the world. Because all I'd get was just like, well, I won't talk to you because you're expressing the wrong opinion, or doubt or skepticism was unwanted. And so what really has been driving a lot of what I do, and I guess probably best exemplified, at least in spirit, by the TEDx series, is really listening to what someone has to say on a subject, giving it as fair a hearing as I can, but not without the controversy. My mind's going all over the place. There was such a hubbub back in 2014, 2015 on college campuses where someone would be coming to the campus to speak, and a protest, a riot would erupt, because just the prospect of someone coming to the campus to say something that might be unwanted or uncomfortable was enough to cause either violence or outrage or something else. And it's just like, how do you not have the ability to entertain an idea without having to accept it? Or give yourself the opportunity to listen to another perspective, even if it's one that you on the surface would disagree with, at least on the chance that even if by the end of it you still disagree with them, at least maybe you'll have a better idea of why you disagree with them when you listen to the totality of what they have to say.
I don't agree with you.
All right, then. Well, anyway, thanks, everybody, for seeing the Tom Connors. It was nice having him on.
One joke. No.
Well, learning the opposing argument helps you better dismantle it, especially if it's flawed.
Yeah.
Right, or at least, again, and this is something that I hope everybody learns in life, is to entertain the possibility that you could be wrong about something. Just allow for even if it's just a tiny percentage, that either you could have your mind changed, that you could learn something, or maybe you'll moderate your opinion based on new information. Don't be closed-minded as much as possible. I mean, some things will never change. Some values will never shift. That's fine. But at least, and get, like you say, better understand the other side's arguments so that if you do come across somebody, and that's kind of the reason why I look at the same subject matter multiple times from different speakers on, say, TEDx, whether it's restorative justice or feminism or DEI. There's this great, I guess panel discussion. You can still find it on YouTube today. It's got Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, David Wolpe, and I forget the fourth guy's name. Anyway, they're there to discuss whether there's an afterlife. And so you've got the two sort of like atheist skeptics on the one side and the two Jewish scholars on the other side. And there comes a point in the talk where, I forget exactly what initiates it, but I think somebody asked Hitchens if he ever gets bored debating religious scholars. And he said something that kind of has stuck with me ever since. He says, people who follow mine or Sam Harris's work probably get very bored of listening to us because our arguments never really change. We always argue from logic and from evidence and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the religious, you never know what they're going to say next. You never know what they might say to try to justify their argument, and it's always a surprise. And so if I listen to 4 different people giving me arguments for why restorative justice should replace prisons, I'm almost never going to hear the same argument twice. So it's always something I'm curious about. Like, how are they going to try to sell it to me this time? What angle are they going to take? Is there going to be something new? And that keeps me going on certain subjects over other things.
He learned that from his brother, who is deeply religious, Christopher Hitchens' brother.
Yes, Peter Hitchens is... Peter and Christopher Hitchens diametrically opposed philosophically on a lot of things, but both extremely interesting to listen to when they argue. And there's actually at least 1 or 2 debates they had between each other on you can find on YouTube. But here, I'll give you a dark secret. Here's some Scribe lore for you. One of the dark secret reasons why I do this is to keep my mind active and to constantly be challenged to think about things and respond and assess things, because Alzheimer's is relatively prevalent in my family, and anything I can do to stave it off, even for a little bit, exercising my brain and giving myself something to think about is, I think, worthwhile in the long run.
It is. It is a very good, it's thinking just in general is... And like any kind of thinking, whether it be critical thinking or just, learning something, just keeping your brain going is always. It's been the lack of critical thinking or really, assessing things with a more sort of stoic mindset that I think has caused a lot of the tribalism and problems and divisions that we've seen over the last couple of years, in particular, last 4 or 5 years. And of course, it started getting really bad for me personally in 2016 when I said, I'm not going to vote in the presidential election. I don't have any particular want to put my vote behind either candidate. And my best friend dumped me because since I wasn't voting for Clinton, I was de facto voting for Trump. Jesus. Even though I said I wasn't voting for either one. And I had to work very hard trying to convince her that nothing she was saying made any sense. And that didn't matter. If I wasn't on one side for sure, then I was... And this is someone that I'd been friends with for nigh on 10 years at that point. So this wasn't some stranger. Yeah, it was just the last of a series of traumatic relationship fallouts as a result of the political and social climate of 2015, 2016. I'm kind of going through the same thing right now because things in Canada are very divisive politically right now. Very divisive. And I have family that work in the government right now. They're public servants. And they, while being public servants, are still like, anything but the conservatives. Anything but the conservatives. We can't have the conservatives. And you try to point like you just try to point out any of the silliness that, like, I just say, watch Question Period for yourself, and I get told that I'm right wing just because I watch the actual workings of Parliament.
Yeah, I do that too. And I recently, with my new job, I've been able to access parliamentary records and historical documents in Canada, which has been fascinating. I will say this: the Conservative leadership in Canada is horrible, but there's a lot of Conservative politicians that are pretty balanced and reasonable, as there are with a few Liberals, but they are being crushed by the majority members of Parliament. So it's very, very divisive, and nobody's getting what they want, and nobody's going to get what they want for a while, unfortunately.
Sorry, I'm just thanking Mr. Black Pasta for making the attempt at because taking care of. I mean, again, this just, not to go too far, but this guy's just a Superman between the production stuff that he does, what he's turned his channel into. At one point, he like effectively sold it after only a couple of years to one of the Law and Crime Network guys, and then brought it back again. And he's taking care of a family. Yeah. And speaking of family men, P-Dog Night. Well, what do you know? It's a P-Dog Night. And speaking of P-Dog Night, real quick, where do I have it here? Somewhere. There.
Wowie, wow.
Yes, the ever sultry P-Dog Night Dog Cat Fox. How you doing, P-Dog?
Dog Thrapple.
Dog Thrapple.
Dog Thrapple.
Good afternoon to you, sir. How's it going? Now, did you already had your morning night live show earlier today? Is that so?
I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah. How did that go?
It went lovely. On Fridays I do the Q&A thing, so some of the questions we get are out there, but it's fun, and got to bitch about the news again, so that's what I do.
Yep, this is P-Dog Night, the Lord of Jurisprudence, the lawyer dog. We first met him on Lords of the Night way back when, and not to toot our own horn, but if I remember correctly, it was Lords of the Night that inspired you to start doing your own streaming. Is that so?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I had so much fun popping in there every once in a while that I was like, oh, I could do this too. I tried it, and it's lasted.
I know. And speaking of which, just as a little bit of nostalgia, and just in case anybody doesn't know anything about Lords of the Night, well, let me play a little clip that I prepared of one of the premiere events that took place over the course of the series. Let me turn off the piano here just for a moment, as to not to interrupt other things. So here's a little nostalgia of one of the most infamous events on Lords of the Night in the form of a promotional video I did for each one of the hosts. This one was my own, just by chance. Here we go. Anytime now. I clicked the button. You can play now. Go ahead. Okay, it's not playing. The Lords of the Night. Scribe light.
We have a running argument in our house. Is cereal soup?
No.
Yes, it is.
It's stew.
It's soup.
No, it's not. Soup
It's
is
breakfast.
like... No, soup implies that it's a homogeneous mixture.
What?
What?
No, look up the definition of soup. It's a soup.
It's not soup.
It's breakfast soup. Scribbles?
What?
Is cereal soup?
No, cereal's not soup.
No, it's a sauce.
One eternity later.
You take a dry soup mix. Before you put it in the water, guess what? It's crunchy as fuck. Thank you. I win.
That doesn't make it soup.
I think my brains are going to explode.
SJ is offended with the notion of soup, and I'm just having a good time.
I love
when was the
listening
last
to
time
Lady
you had
Monkey
crunchy
laugh at
soup?
us in the background.
If you have dry soup, I mean, it's going to be crunchy. You are killing Lady Monkey's crying.
I'm going to run for president of the world and destroy all cereal and all soup, so none of this has to be discussed.
Quill, you don't have to cook your soup. I'm just listening to everybody laugh. Should existential crisis be avoided at all costs? No, but soupy cereal should be.
Scribe, this is how I feel when you and Monkey talk about movies. This is payback, so hush.
Oh god.
Scribbles, what do you want to talk about?
You could argue, hold on, that it's stew.
How can it be stew but not soup?
Well, hold on, let me find the definition of stew.
Oh god, that definition of soup.
Rotating nightly, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. Subscribe to all the Lords of the Night to stay in the loop.
Cereal is its own species.
Yes, the cereal is soup episode of Lords of the Night.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
Yeah, cereal, it's not like Pichiswar or gazpacho that's served cold. That's soup.
No.
It's its own.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'm sorry. I even brought. This is not what I meant. This is not what I meant to have happen. I don't want to start it again.
You started it.
Oh, this is Ranting Monkey's fault. This is all his fault. Ranting Monkey started this years ago.
Well, Ranting Monkey is wrong. Soup is its own genus. It's its own species.
I know, and I spent a lot of time talking about that.
I agree with you. So
yeah.
Poor Scribbles.
Problem.
I didn't even have him come on now, but he's probably sleeping. But yeah, so
I'm not gonna let him defend himself. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Anybody that thinks that soup and cereal are the same thing, I ain't got no time for. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, speaking of Lords of the Night, we have Satsu 2 cents.
Satsu.
Actually, it's Black Sutu soups now.
Oh,
Black
God.
Tutu.
Why?
Gazpacho is a soup, though, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It's just
served cold. I learned that from Red Dwarf. Yes.
You know what? I like it. Yeah. I actually like gazpacho. It's good.
Real quick, thank you, Keeverdam. Speaking of Lords of the Night, Satsu's in chat. Yes, Satsu's in chat. Do you guys know about my friend Satsu? Well, let me tell you about my friend Satsu. I got a lot to say about my friend Satsu. This is my friend Satsu, aka Chef Tyrone, founder, owner, and CEO of Oishi Fried Chicken LLC, featuring a new line of signature spice mixes. Chef Tyrone's homemade blends are the perfect gateway to delicious fried chicken or any other protein you might prefer. These recipes were painstakingly tested in Tyrone's home kitchen to bring you all the fantastic flavors you and your family can enjoy. The current flavor lineup includes original, spicy, lemon garlic herb, barbecue rub, and taco seasoning. You can buy individual packs of your favorite flavors or save some money with a variety bundle, all through the online store. And Oishi Fried Chicken ships nationwide. Go to www.oishifc.com and order today.
Scribe.
Yes, free advertising. I'm not being sponsored.
That was a good video.
Satsu's too cheap for that, but I do enjoy my friends.
Correction, Satsu is too broke for that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I just used some of that original seasoning. I had some popcorn, and I buttered the popcorn and used some of the original seasoning on the popcorn.
Really good.
Holy shit! I never thought to even do that.
That was actually
sounds really good, actually.
Now, for those of you that don't know, Satsu here is one of the OG Lords of the Night, the Lord of Pennies. And there was one event that I wanted to find a clip of for today, but I don't know if it exists anymore. And that is the epic Lords of the Night stream wherein his wife went into labor on the air, effectively.
Yeah.
Did that get deleted with the rest of your channel?
I think it did, unfortunately.
Shucks. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, so we did Lords of the Night practically every night for 4 years. And we do 2 hours. Like, for a long time, it was every night of the week, like all 7 days a week. And it was now, as of this past August, 5 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
5 years ago this past August, we're there on the air, and Satsu's hosting the channel, or hosting the show. And I remember we were making jokes about, because his wife, Squishy, was off in the background. We're making jokes about how close she was to to labor. She was pregnant at the time. And then about 10 or 15 minutes into the show, something like that, Satsu's like, her water broke. And Monkey, a veteran at dealing with the birth of children, seeing as how he's the father of 3, I believe, he was like, okay, well, now you go to the hospital. And Satsu's like, nah, it'll be fine. Everything's okay. They're like, no, you need to go to the hospital. So we had to argue with him for several minutes. Like, no, you need to go to the hospital. This is the time where you go to the hospital. So finally, he leaves. And then Ranting Monkey and I are like, well, gee, I hope everything turns out okay. And then we suddenly realize, wait, he's hosting the stream, and now we're just here in the void. And then, yes, go ahead.
Real quick, correction.
Oh, okay.
When I was saying that I wasn't going to leave yet and to hold on, I was relaying to y'all information that she was saying to me. Because I'm like, they're saying we need to go, and she's saying no. And I'm like, okay, look, we need to figure something out because this is getting out of hand.
Yeah. Well, eventually they did leave, thankfully. But then Monkey and I were sitting there going like, okay. And then the show effectively became a telethon for Satsu's oncoming child. And Ranting Monkey kept that stream going for, 16 hours?
16 hours, and he raised over $5,000.
It was absolutely epic. One of the, pieces of lore and history of that entire show that will never leave me. And I couldn't stay on as long as he did because I had to work in the morning. I had to go to bed. And when I got up in the morning, I had no idea that he was still on the air. So I got to work. I sat down. I turned on my little tablet thing to listen to something while I worked. And it was still on the air. I was like, oh, my God. And so I rushed through my work trying to get home to give him a break. I wanted to get home to, take up the baton. But by the time I got there, he had just signed off. You guys had figured it out and taken it down. But holy cow, that was just...
I had to
epic.
get my neighbor to break into my house to.
Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, Lords of the Night, one of the accidental, seminal events of my 8 years on YouTube. One day, Ranting Monkey comes to me and says, "Hey, I don't know how to stream. How do you stream?" I'm like, oh, okay. And I showed him, and then he just text me occasionally, going like, "I'm bored. Let's stream. I'm bored. Let's stream." And eventually, this turned into a daily, nightly thing with a format and reading news and taking questions and doing all types of stuff. 4 years of my life on YouTube and just crazy stuff. And here we all still are doing stuff. But now Satsu's transitioned in his career and his focus.
Yeah, I've been pretty much exclusively focusing on my gaming channel lately.
Mm-hmm.
And the past couple months have been kind of crazy because for some reason, simulation games are becoming very popular nowadays. And my channel is starting to blow up now off of Supermarket Simulator.
Nice.
Of all games.
Whatever works.
Yeah, so I've been covering mods and stuff for Supermarket Simulator, and basically I have tripled my YouTube income in a matter of 3 months playing this game. So I'm like, okay, let's go with this then.
Good for you, man.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's been kind of nuts. I'm looking at my analytics. It said I'm 250% above my normal stats on my channel.
Jeez.
Which is insane.
I think we have enough people here now. We could do a Mad Lib.
Ooh.
If you guys want.
Mad Lib.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see.
Before we start, though, Simon had a question. He said, why did I delete my channel? I did not delete my channel, by the way.
Oh.
I had a few people ask me that over the years. What happened? Why'd you delete your channel? I didn't. My channel got striked into oblivion.
That's right. My bad.
It
For
was,
what?
I don't know. I never knew. I never had a chance to find out because by the time I actually realized what happened, it was already gone.
That's ridiculous.
You couldn't appeal or anything?
No, the channel was gone. It was.
I blame that monkey guy.
Yeah, Ranting Monkey probably did it. All right, so I'm going to go around the circle here and ask you guys, and be as colorful in your word choice as possible.
Ooh, okay.
That's exactly. This stream is not monetized, so don't worry about that. All right, so we'll start at the top here. Price of reason. I need an adjective.
Naughty.
Okay. Let's see. Blind press. I need a color.
Turquoise.
Turquoise.
Bougie ass
I don't even know
color.
if I can spell turquoise, but I'll give my best shot.
Say blue green. Jesus.
P Dog Night, I need an exclamation.
Damn it!
Damn it. All right, boy. Getting a little PG-13 here. Let's see if Tom
Sorry.
Connors can take it up a notch. Tom Connors, I need a past tense verb.
Well, Script has to leave.
Oh, Script. Give you a past tense verb real quick.
Okay, let's think. Blitzkrieg.
Blitzkrieg.
Wow.
All right.
There you go.
Well, hey.
And then he
Well, hey, Script, thanks so much for dropping in. I appreciate it. I'm very glad to have gotten to know you over the years here, and I'm looking forward to streaming with you sometime in the near future.
Likewise, sir. Congratulations on 8 years, and I'll be listening to this interesting Mad Lib while I finish up the early dinner I have to make and get back to work. But lovely.
Okay, pal. You take care.
Blitzkrieg is a verb.
Blitzkrieg.
Yeah. Krieged, like with an ed.
Yep.
Well, it's a specialized verb.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So we got Blitzkrieg. Tom Connors, plural noun.
Pussies.
All right. Sounds good to me. We got a couple of plural nouns here.
It was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm sorry.
Satsu, I also need a plural noun.
Should I go with the classic?
Go ahead.
Drildo.
I knew it. I knew it was going to be Drildo. Always with the Drildos. Okay. Let's see. Now that things have shifted around here a little bit. Price of Reason, I need another plural noun.
Headphones.
Okay. Blind Press, I need a plural noun. Let's go plural
Spiked
noun.
collars.
Okay, well then. That's very specific.
Mm.
And then P Dog Night, I need a silly word. A silly word.
Flabulous.
Flabulous.
Was that what Lizzo was before the weight loss?
Sure. Oh, Flabulous.
She was fabulous.
It's like a name of one of her singles, isn't it?
Let's see. All right, and the last two I'm going to give to the chat real quick here. Vader35. Bring this up here. Pardon me.
See. I got cut off early like a bartender. Look at that crap.
All right. Vader35, thank you so much. Happy anniversary, Scribe. Appreciate it, Vader. Another OG name on here. Thank you, Vader. Oh, no, I usually try to give the chat some say in here. So, chat, I have 2 verb slots open, so just give me some verbs, some regular old verbs in the chat, and I'll pick a couple here. We'll finish this off.
Fapping.
No. Well, it could be. If somebody in the chat says fapping, maybe that's what I'll do. Chat, it's all up to you.
Somebody's gonna
wait. That's what you'll do?
No. I'm not Dark Side Phil. Not Dark Side Phil. Let's see. Angela Arriaga says masticate. I like that one. Sounds good. And
yeah, that one's better because it sounds bad.
Right, exactly. And then of course we have Spud Gun who says wanking. So we'll do that one.
That's close enough.
That's
all
the
right.
Same thing as
So
Same thing.
with that,
it's when you're doing it in Britain.
That's true.
All right, here we go. Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh Lord! Here
Oh
we go.
God.
One day, little Turquoise Riding Hood was going through the forest carrying a basket of pussies for her grandmother. Suddenly, she met a big, naughty wolf. "Damn it," said the wolf. "Where are you going, little Flabulous?" "I'm going to my grandmother's house," she said. Then the wolf blitzkrieged away. When Miss Riding Hood got to her grandmother's house, the wolf was in bed, dressed like her grandmother. "My grandmother," she said, "what big drildos you have."
Oh my God.
"The better to masticate you with," said the wolf.
Oh Jesus Christ.
"And grandmother," she said, "what big headphones you have." The wolf said, "The better to wanking you with." And then she said, "What big spike collars you have, grandmother." But the wolf said nothing. He had just died of indigestion from eating grandmother. Okay, well, there you go.
Well, she was into S&M if she had spiked collars.
Apparently so, yeah. So there you go. There's our first of, I'm sure, several Mad Libs over the course of the show.
A better one.
He died of punctured throat because he swallowed a spiked collar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Let me find one that's got a whole bunch of extra words in here.
Yeah, I would say something that's a little more eventful.
I got to tell you, I'm very proud of my word "flabulous" now.
That was pretty
Fabulous
good.
was pretty good. I like that.
That
one.
was pretty good.
Drill dough is good too.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is lots of words. Lots of words in this.
Any
one.
place I can slip in words I've made up, even better.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll start with you, Tom. I'll start with you. All right. So just to let you guys know, the first 8 slots are all adjectives. So get adjectives into your mind.
Okay.
So Tom Connors, I need an adjective.
Oh wow. Let's see here. What would be? You just need the word before it, basically, like a.
Just a describing word, a descriptive word.
Massive.
Okay. Massive. All right. Moving on around the circle here. P, dog, night. I need an adjective.
Swimmingly.
Oh, okay. Next up is Satsu. I need an adjective.
Exuberant.
Ooh. You're trying to touch off all my English major nerves with that one.
Sorry, I gave you an adverb, didn't I?
Oh, that's true. You did.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Technically, it's an adjective.
We got along swimmingly. Can work if you want to keep it.
No, I gave you an adverb. Is that what I was supposed to give you? An adverb? What did I?
No, adjective.
I was supposed to give you
If
an
you want-
adverb, and I gave you an adverb.
Well, it works for me if you want to keep it. If you got something better.
Bloated.
Ooh.
Bloated. Okay.
Bloated.
Fine by me.
I have obviously I have a theme going today.
All right. So with that, blind press. I need an adjective.
Pugnacious.
Oh gosh.
Ooh. Pulling out the
Boy,
big
oh boy,
words.
everybody's just laying out the $5 words here. And speaking of, or at least $10 words, Lewis, thank you so much. Oh, this is your 5th super chat. Wow. I have been listening to you, Monkey, and company for years. I remember you doing an ad for me back when you were doing them. It was hilarious. Happy 8 years, dude. Who's that? Is that an Aaliyah?
Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Oh, hi, Aaliyah.
Hi, Leah.
How's Aaliyah?
That's adorable.
How are you?
How are you?
No, how are you?
How are you?
Okay.
Is that the one that was born on stream?
Yes,
Yep.
this is now 5 years old. All of 5 years old.
Wow.
Aw, Aaliyah. Yay, Aaliyah. Oh, thank you, P-Dog. P-Dog's got a soundboard that I don't have that he can add in. I appreciate
That
it.
was me, but hey.
Oh, sorry. I saw P-Dog moving around. I appreciate it.
Weird.
Okay, all right. You're just showing off.
No, that was me.
Oh,
That was you.
Oh my god.
This was me.
Good gravy.
I got Godzilla in a box. What you got?
Oh god.
What have you
What
done?
do I have? Let's see. I've got.
Of course.
Wow, he was so thin. What happened?
I know. Back in the olden days.
It's a
Price
mystery.
Price of reasons. I need a adjective. Another adjective.
An adjective. Okay, drunk.
Okay.
Or mostly dead.
Back around to Tom Connors. I need another adjective.
Well,
There are other words in this thing, I swear. The first 8 are apparently just adjectives.
let's go with dead since I just said it. I said mostly
Okay.
dead, but I don't know if I can fit mostly dead.
Mostly
there.
dead. P-Dog Night. An adjective.
Fartsy.
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 I like that.
Satsu. An adjective.
Okay, I think you're lying. I think all you have are adjectives. How about sort of deceased?
Sort of deceased. Okay.
That's close to
That's
mine.
mostly dead.
Mostly dead. Sort of deceased.
Okay. Okay. Now we get around to the changes. Blind press. I need an adverb. So ending in ly is usually a good shot there.
Let's see. Momentarily.
Ooh.
Okay. Next, price of reason. I need a color.
Color? Maroon.
Price
maroon
doesn't see
cartoon.
colors.
Why
Let's see. Tom Connors, I need a large number.
Oh my. Well, let's see here. 7 trillion.
7 trillion. All right.
That large, massive.
Now we have 4 nouns in a row, so get your nouns ready, everybody. P-Dog Knight, I need a noun.
Banana.
Banana. Satsu, I need a noun.
A red solo cup.
A red solo cup.
All right.
Can we work Queerdo in as a noun?
Blind Press. Blind Press, I need a noun.
Let's see. A noun. A clown car.
Clown car.
Oh, man. Price of reason, I need a noun.
Mojito.
Oh.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see then. Tom Connors, I need a place. Any place will do.
I'm thinking of a good one though.
Okay.
Hooters.
Oh. Okay. And now
Bar
we
and
get
grill
into...
if you want to be more specific, but yes.
Yes. Now we get into plural nouns, so get your plural nouns ready. P-Dog Knight, plural noun.
Mud flaps.
Okay.
Classic.
It just sounds funny. Satsu, a plural noun.
Oh man, this was one of those avoid the first thing that came to your mind moments, and I'm really glad
Never.
I did. So let me pick something else, shall we?
Jeez. Okay. It's up to you.
I say go for it.
Well, the first thing that came to mind was disabled kids, but I'm
That works. That's fine.
Okay.
bro.
I'm
As
all
a
Too late.
disabled- as
Too
a
late. You
disabled
said it.
kid, as a former
All right.
disabled kid, I approve.
And,
There you go. See, we got a card. So
Blind Press, I need a plural noun.
Let's see.
disabled
here.
adults. No.
Oh my gosh.
Walking sticks.
Walking sticks. All right. And the last one, sorry, Price, I'm going to save the last one for the chat.
Okay.
But before I do that,
I
some
only
other
got one,
friends
too.
are,
Don't feel bad.
some other friends are in the chat. The Misery Machine, Drewby and Yurgi. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. Scribe, name a video game that most changed your life that doesn't fall into the typical casual picks, Mario, Zelda, etc. Changed my life.
What's up, baby?
Golly gee, changed my life.
Donkey Kong.
You know, you know what it probably was, and I know this sounds kind of cheesy, and some people in the chat will already know some about this. Oh, there's an Aaliyah.
Yeah, she's asking for cookies. I'll be back.
Oh, okay. That changed my life. Kind of weird. It's called Vampire the Masquerade Redemption. And the reason for this was my first, back when it was online and the servers were online and everything, you could host your own games with multiple players and use the maps and everything to conduct story-based role-playing game sessions with other people through their shared server and their established maps and everything. And so it was the first sort of hint I had at what I would eventually go on to do in real life with LARPing and stuff, which I know people think is complete cheese now, but it's something that at least prepared me for that. So I guess if I had to name one video game that changed my life, I suppose that'd probably be it. But thank you, Misery Machine. And speaking of the Misery Machine, it's a Drewby. Hey, Drewby.
So that's like a precursor to Tabletop Simulator from the sounds of it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, at the time, I was I had the game books just because I liked the setting and the themes and everything, but I never actually played the game with other people before. And that's the closest I came to it until eventually I found a local group that I spent time with for almost 10 years. So yeah, I suppose in that way it sort of primed me for that eventual experience. Well, while you're here, I'm gonna steal it from the chat. Unfortunately, I need a plural occupation, Drewby.
Plural occupation?
Yeah, so an occupation with an S at the end.
Strippers?
No, you're at home. You're at home. All right.
I like this guy.
Okay, so by the way, for those of you that don't know, Drewby is one of the duet, let's say, that run the Misery Machine here on YouTube. Drewby and Yergi. Misery Machine is a true crime channel here on YouTube. They cover oftentimes some of the darkest cases that you might think of dealing with children and teenagers, but they are necessary stories to get out there so that people are aware of some of the failings of not only our system, but also the things to be aware of when it comes to society, relationships, and otherwise. So if you haven't already, take a look at Misery Machine, but be prepared, not for the faint of heart, but always excellent quality stuff to look at.
Very kind words, Scribe. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. And speaking of the Yergi, there is Yergi.
Hey.
Hello, Drewby and Yergi. Boy, the entire Misery Machine is here. And Misery Machine, here are my other friends from different parts of the internet. Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge, P-Dog Knight from Morning Night Live, Satsu 2 Cents from Oshi Fried Chicken, and also Supermarket Simulator. Price of Reason from Night Owl, and Blind Press from, well, Blind Press.
Hello.
Nice to make all your acquaintances.
And you're just in time for me to read the results of our Mad Lib that everybody's now presented to. So here we go. I don't even know what it says because I haven't read it yet, but let's find out. Critics' Choice. What's massive in primetime? Survival Hooters. Another of those bloated reality shows. The audience would be much happier if there wasn't a single banana left on the island. I give it one red Solo cup.
Was Lizzo on this episode?
I know, right? Next up, exuberant Hollywood stories. This biography, filled with many pugnacious twists and drunk turns, will please the many mudflaps of this dead performer. I give it 7 disabled kids.
Out of how many?
Right.
I know, right? At least 10.
How many do you have to give?
And lastly,
you get 11 because there's a handicap.
Come on.
And lastly on the list, The Maroon House. This is one of my all-time fartsy shows. It's about the staff who momentarily work behind the scenes as strippers. It has everything: clown car, walking sticks, and even sort of deceased romance. Okay, that sounds vaguely necrophiliatic. 7 trillion stars. Yeah, that vampire romance. That sounds like a Lady Gaga song. 7 trillion stars for this primetime mojito. Okay.
I don't use romance, bro.
That didn't even make sense.
This is your guys' fault.
That actually kind of worked.
What's a primetime mojito?
It's what the person who wrote this was drinking.
I think so.
Oh.
A very good drink.
I guess.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
So there's our second Mad Lib. And while we have Drewby and Yergi on here, guys, how long have you been on YouTube now?
5 years this past July.
Oh, so well, belated happy anniversary to you guys.
Thank you very much. And happy 8th to you.
Appreciate it. Oh, I have a couple of notes here. So there's a couple of birthdays that have occurred either today or in the last couple of days that I have to get to. So I'd appreciate it if you guys would join in with me on a couple of birthday singings.
Okay.
First and foremost, my longtime viewer, Jamie Melquist, her son Michael had his birthday yesterday. But she was thankful I didn't sing it during yesterday's TED Excellence because yesterday's TED Excellence was utterly disgusting. So it's probably a good thing that I didn't do it then, but I'd like to do it now. So Michael, if you're listening, either now or in the future, this one's for you. And a 1, and a 2, Happy birthday to you.
Shut up.
Happy birthday to you.
No, seriously, please.
Happy birthday, dear Michael.
You know they hate this, right?
Happy birthday to you. Yay! Happy birthday, Michael.
That was perfect.
And
I was
then,
told there was a birthday thing going on. I'm here.
Oh my God! It's Bat Tom. Bat Tom has appeared. I didn't even send it the signal.
I do.
What is what is the Bat Tom signal?
Free food works.
Okay, there you go.
Birthday songs.
From that vocal fry, it sounds like cigarettes.
Well, yeah, that too.
I
It's a
also have a
stressful
birthday.
job. I would do. You want me to wait? I'll do the birthday.
Yeah, just hold on a second, Bat Tom. Settle down.
What?
Play with your batarang or
$20.
something. Yeah. So today, in fact, is the birthday of not only one of the moderators on my Discord server, but a longtime viewer of the channel, Brett, aka Stoka. And so, Brett, happy birthday to you! Thank you so much for your loyalty, your attention, your generosity in the past, and your friendship. So with that, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brett. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Brett.
That's an impressive falsetto you have there.
I don't often get a chance to do my my voiceover work, but sometimes
Did somebody let a goose loose?
It's not easy being green.
What was that noise? I don't understand.
Yeah. But happy birthday, Brett. Happy birthday, Michael. Hope you guys had a good celebration. Let's see, who else do we got here?
I'm very confused. I'm a little embarrassed to be here. And I'm the one wearing their underwear on the outside.
Good gravy. And Brett just showed up. Well, hey, Brett. Happy birthday. Hope you're doing good.
Real quick, Scribbles. I'm going to hop off just so I can go be momsy.
Yep. Well, thank you for visiting.
No worries. Happy anniversary to you guys, or to you, and I hope you have a good rest of your stream.
And everybody, if you don't know about Blind Press, again, she has no eyeballs and she plays competitive Mortal Kombat, so go check out Blind Press here on YouTube.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
I'll be on Twitch tonight playing Mortal Kombat, actually.
Okay.
And it's twitch.tv/blindpress. I am 9 followers away from 500.
Ooh, well then, guys, go check it out. Let's get Blind Press over that line of 900. So twitch.tv/blindpress. Check it out and subscribe.
Thank you guys. Have a wonderful stream, Scribe. Happy anniversary again, and it was great meeting all of you guys.
Bye, Blind.
Thanks. Bye, Blind.
Bye.
Oh boy. Yep. And one lady leaves, another man enters. Nick Weiser is here. Hello, Nick Weiser.
Oh, I know this guy.
Hey, it's Nick.
Bat Tom's here too. Yeah.
I know. Nick Weiser, one of my another friend that relative. Again, I speak in relative terms. Relatively recent YouTube friend as a result of Midnight's Edge After Dark and Midnight's Edge. And welcome, Nick Weiser.
Those hooligans.
Thank you. Happy to be here. 8 huge years for you, sir.
I appreciate it. Now, how long have you been on YouTube?
I've been on for 4 years. 4 years has been when I started. Like, I created like the channel like I think like over a decade ago, but when I started like putting it to use was 4 years ago.
And what do you cover in particular? What's your specialty?
Toxic male movies, comics, sometimes really crazy, loud, obnoxious music. I'm one of those channels where I just pretty much I do whatever I want with it. I probably would have more subs if I stuck to one thing, but I just happen to be one of those guys who marches to the beat of their own drum. So I like it this way. It's fun.
Yeah, I found to sort of like find oh, and holy cats. There's a Polly from Latino Slant. Well, hello, Polly.
Hey.
Hey, Polly, how's it going? Nice to have you. Oh my gosh. And of course, Polly knows Drewby and Yergi now from our shared experience with the Menendez brothers. Well, that came out wrong. That really came out wrong. Hold on.
Hold on.
Let me back up.
What the hell?
I think this requires some elaboration.
Yeah, so both Misery Machine and Polly of the Latino Slant and his Romy, his wife, who are true crime fans of one form or another. It just happened to be the case that Polly brought up the Menendez brothers series on Netflix a week or so ago as something that he was going to be watching. And I was like, oh, I've already watched it all. And I'm also going to do a stream soon talking about it with one of my true crime pals. You want to come on? He's like, sure. And then we did the thing. And then we talked about the Menendez series. And next week sometime, we're going to get back together to talk about the actual Netflix documentary covering the case, which was its own beast of a project, which I have 4 pages of notes on.
Wow.
I have 4. I know, right? I did my homework on this one, so I'm ready to go.
Diabolical. Wow.
But Polly, since I'm going around the room here, how long have you been on YouTube so far?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say to Yergi, are you feeling better?
I am feeling better. I'm just like coughing like crazy, but thank you.
No problem. And it's good to see Price and Nick and Tom's here, so whatever.
Hey, it's bad time. Get it right.
That's P-Dog. Nice to meet you. And Black.
Well, okay, so yeah, he's making jokes there, but that's Satsu.
Oh, gotcha.
That's Satsu.
Oh,
That's okay.
Anyways.
Yeah, Black Sue 2 Soups. Yeah, he used to be his name on here was Satsu 2 Cents back in the day, but he's just being silly.
Yeah,
sorry guys, I just got back.
I'm sorry.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, the Slant's doing really good. We're under the Midnight's Edge family, with all the channels and Midnight's Edge Espanol and After Dark, all the stuff. We love being a part of that, and we just had a great live stream right now with Romy. She came on and she actually has a movie out in the theaters right now. So we had her talking about that.
Yep, Romy Diaz, actress, going to be in the upcoming spin-off of the Bosch TV series.
Don't say it.
Oh, was that not? Oh, was that a secret? I'm sorry.
Well, I did not know, so just take it out of your mouth.
Oh, okay, never mind. Forget I said that, guys. I apologize. I thought that was.
Indeed.
I didn't know it was a secret. I thought that was common knowledge. I apologize.
I thought. No, listen. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. All right. Well, anyway, that was nothing, guys. Actors of stage and screen, yes.
Gotcha.
And hopefully we'll be joining us next week to talk about the Menendez documentary as well. And I think I'm slated to be on your show on Monday now as well.
Monday night, and I've known Nick for a couple.
Well,
of years.
you were until that slip.
I know. Yeah, I ruined everything. Oh man, I broke some kind of NDA. We're all screwed now.
Take it out your mouth. You take that name of that show out your damn mouth.
I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I don't know anything. Cereal is soup. What we're going to talk about anyway?
Ooh, hey, Scribbles.
No, it isn't.
Yes, Satsu.
I'm gonna head out because I gotta feed my little one.
Okay, well, you take care of Aaliyah. Give her a hug for me. And thanks for popping in, dude. Appreciate it.
Oh, did you want to show that video that I sent you?
Oh, I can. I just have to download it here. Okay. Oh, I got a message.
I wager a ton of people here have not seen her in a really long time.
It's probably true. Yeah, all things considered. I got to get down to your little there, and then I have to. How do I download a video off of Twitter like this? I'll tell you what. I will figure it out, and I will get it out here sooner or later. Or if you can email it to me directly, maybe. I don't know how to get this off of here.
Yeah, see what I can do.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, Satsu.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody. Nice to meet you all.
Good to meet you.
Take care.
Cheers. Try that popcorn.
I just got a message from my friend Kurt Metzger, comedian. He says, "Hey, Scribe, I gotta work or I would." I sent him the invitation. So Kurt Metzger, professional comedian, comedy writer, is all over the place. One of those YouTube happenstance stories. He saw a clip from one of my TEDx talks on another one of my friend's channels, and then he got in contact with me, and then I came onto his show. He came onto mine a couple of times. Just some of the random things that happen here on YouTube, the kind of people you can connect with. I know, right? And I mean, I don't want to get too. He and I don't talk about that very much anymore, but that's private. But yeah, so nice to hear from Kurt. I got some other messages here. Let's see. Let's see.
It's got
Oh,
Andy
I'm-
Masterson in the chat.
Who else is here?
Andy Masterson.
Andy Masterson. Andy Masterson. I think I sent you the link, Andy. I'm thinking you can come on if you want to. Yes, another. One of my YouTube friends here. Gosh, I feel like I should be doing something with you guys. You guys want to do another Mad Lib, or we could do a TEDx. I don't know if we can do a TEDx with this many people. That'd be kind of crazy.
Well,
I got to bounce before you start anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, it's okay. No, I didn't figure anybody would want to stick around for the whole 3 hours or something. So yeah, but
no,
I
I
appreciate
actually
you.
want to stick around for the 3 hours. I just have to have something that I have to do.
Okay.
In like 30 minutes, I have to head out and do something. So.
Okay, well, feel free to come back too. The link will be there the whole time.
Awesome, man. Thank you for having me on, and congratulations on the 8 years. And yeah, let's all get together also for the 9-year one.
Oh, it'll probably happen, knowing me.
10-year. It's gotta be diabolical.
Well, thanks, Price. I'll see you soon.
See you soon, man. Thank you.
Take care, Price.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
And Polly, thanks for popping in and saying hi. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we'll see how it works out. Maybe I'll pop back in, but
Okay.
I've been streaming, so
No, take a break. I understand about the stamina thing and streaming sitting still for too long.
But yeah,
Not
I'm
everyone's
excited,
smaller.
I'm excited for this Friday. Excuse me. See how I'm tired. This Monday, Scribe will
Yes.
be on my channel this Monday.
Yep, and we'll figure out the Menendez follow-up sometime next week.
Yes, Yergi and Druby, great channel y'all have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Very
much.
Looking forward to the next Menendez talk we have.
Man, yeah. All right, take care, everyone. Congratulations, Scribe.
Now, thank you, Polly. Take care.
Right,
Goodbye, Polly.
Bye-bye.
Alrighty, let's see. So,
Scribe, have
what
you
else?
talked about what your 9-year or 10-year goals are?
You know, I mean, I've had a dream that the Living on Borrowed Crime series turns into like a regular, either weekly or monthly thing, something that's a bit more consistent, either as a podcast or something else. It's a matter of trying to figure out, because everybody's schedules are so crazy. The first idea, of course, was to have interviews with true crime content creators, and that has worked out when the stars have aligned, because everybody's so busy with making kind of the title of the series kind of gives away the fact that time is of the essence, with people turning this into a career and then not having free time to just sort of schedule a quick interview or something. So, but trying to figure out like a more consistent way in which I could have panel discussions of the people that I do know that don't require a whole lot of heavy lifting, like some free research, or everybody's got to have done a video on the same case or something like that, which could be interesting. And I've got a couple of things like that that'll be coming up in the future. But aside from that, I don't know. I just kind of play it by ear, I suppose. And speaking of which, I don't even know if that's a great segue or not. Andy Masterson is here. Andy Masterson, how's it going?
Andy!
I hope you're muted right now, dude.
See, I had that unmuted, but not this.
There you go. Andy Masterson. Well, thank you so much. Andy, for those out there that don't know who you are or what you do, who are you and what do you do?
I'm a devious creator that makes things and causes turmoil with them.
Yeah, amongst other things, Andy is also a custom toy maker. There's the Tom Connors action figure. He has his wares are displayed along the wall behind him as well, with all types of crazy stuff.
That sexy bastard.
Also, a comic book a comic book nerd par excellence, because I made an obscure reference to a Doctor Strange comic book this morning, and Andy was immediately DMing me, going like, "Dude!"
Yeah. I made my own Baron Mordo that's more comic book accurate. I'm working on doing a whole like Clea, an actual Wong, not the one, the servant Wong.
Not the movie Wong.
The actual one
Yeah.
who's there to actually be an assistant to Steven. Unheard of.
An apprentice to Stephen Strange, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing that bugs me when they do all these swaps and things like that. There's so many cool stories that were around these characters. Now you can't do them because you changed it all.
Right.
Now
You change the dynamic, you change the entire like arc of those characters and what you could do with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it was odd being on today, and Paul Chato starts saying like, what was this thing where he couldn't say anything to somebody and everything else? I'm like, oh well, that was a curse that was put on Doctor Strange back in Doctor Strange #1 when Barry like, and it's always weird when you don't think you belong somewhere, you don't know anything, and then somebody says something, and suddenly you realize, wait, I know way too much about this subject, and now I can sound like I'm smart. That was fun. Occasionally sounding smart is fun. But that was great. But let's see. So how long have you been on YouTube now, Andy?
2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Oh my gosh, you're a baby.
Oh yeah, I was
just a baby.
I had no intention of doing any of this stuff. In fact, that was the night I met Tom. I sent Doomcock an action figure and I just mailed it out to him. I didn't put any note or anything in there. He's like, he's got this thing and he makes a big deal out of it. And hey, you want to come on the show? Do you have a Twitter account? I'm like, no. And I thought YouTube was for like how to fix your dryer and music videos.
There you go.
I started hearing like COVID hit, and I started hearing the stuff about like how bad Star Wars. Like, yeah, hey, I can appreciate that. And I started listening, and I made an action figure. And next thing you know, he's got me on there, and then has me a regular on the show. And then I started making stuff for different people, and they have me on their shows. And like okay, I guess this is my life now.
A lot of us have stumbled into it.
On Mead still too.
Yeah, I mean, my very first live stream was I was on a site that's still around but was bigger at the time called Minds, and just randomly this guy went by the name of Irate Bear, said, "I'm doing a live stream soon. Anybody want to join?" And I was like, "Okay," and I was on a stream with him for like half an hour, 45 minutes or something. And as the story goes, I said to myself afterwards, "Well, if this idiot can do it, I sure can too." And Irate Bear is one of my longest and best friends here on YouTube, and I even have a stinger. His British accent wouldn't allow him to say the word substantive correctly, and I've been holding that against him his entire life at this point. And so lots of fun inside jokes there. But yeah, Irate Alex, I invited him. I don't know if he'll be able to make it today because he's over in the Britain and doing stuff with his family, so might not make it tonight. But many thanks to Irate Alex. He's actually one of the reasons that several of us OG 2016, class of 2016s got together, because either on one of his streams or elsewise we all met each other back in the day. So, yeah. But let's see. Well, what else should we do, guys? Do you want to do a TEDx? Do you want to do another Mad Lib? We got something else you want to talk about? We can just have a discussion about stuff, too, if there's something else going on.
Well, it's, we always talk about... I mean, come on. Those figures, that's a nice figure right there.
We could talk about what's going on with Batman lately, if everybody here's a Batman.
I've been watching the Penguin. So
look at that sexy guy.
Penguin's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been very surprised. I'm probably one of the people who absolutely could not stand Pattinson as Batman, that movie. But the show of the Penguin has been really good, and it's nice to have a show that's really character driven. And anything also with mobster gangs and all that stuff, that's that kind of sings to my heart. It doesn't just
the only thing I'll say about the Penguin show is that the writing is really good, the acting's great, but his ability to manipulate people came across as a bit too easy in places. Like everybody's just believing a bit too much of him too quickly. But that's my only complaint compared to what else comes out these days. I suppose that's not too bad. But
I don't feel like Sophia sold on his actions. I don't think she actually sold on him.
Anybody else here watching the Penguin? Are we boring anybody, by the way?
I just assume that any superhero stuff that comes out within the past few years is just not that good or just straight up trash. So I just avoid all of it.
That's
so
fair.
Now that you guys have recommended it,
smart.
I will actually watch the Penguin if you guys say it's
the Penguin series it taken in isolation, the Penguin series is really interesting. Can't say as much for the Batman movie it's attached to. But Drewby, that actually represents the majority opinion of most of the movie-going audience these days, because everybody's getting disillusioned with the quality of the superhero stuff of the last few years, and with due cause. But
I can't wait for the new Captain America to flop.
We talked about it this. Yeah, we talked about it this morning. The entire chain of events plot line leaked, or at least a reasonably believable version of it leaked online a few days ago, and if what I read out earlier today on Midnight's Edge or otherwise is even close to it, it's just not going to be good. Let's see. Just checking out the. I see your message, Ruby. See it there. Okay. Well, let's see. While I have you here, what do you think, Drewby Yergi, right now, in the grand scheme of the true crime genre, do you think is the biggest impediment to turning that endeavor into a living, a financial success, let's say?
I feel like, and Yergi, I obviously want to hear your thoughts, but I can only speak from YouTube primarily. And I think that's YouTube's insistence on cracking down on talking about certain cases, true crime in general, and if you do create true crime content, you have to heavily censor yourself. Like one thing that I miss talking about during, I don't want your stream to get taken down, but there's a certain S word that is used for removing yourself from the earth, and we used to do 4 episodes of that during the month of October. Was it September? Okay, yeah, September. Because that's the awareness month for that S word. But if you even say that S word, your video can get yanked. And we've had several videos yanked, and then you get this nice little AI message from YouTube that says, hey, we're concerned about you. Here's the link to the S word hotline. You know, your life matters. I'm just like, this is just stupid that I can't even talk about something that this email claims that they care about. So it's having to tiptoe around topics, having to say things like SA instead of sexual assault or DV instead of domestic violence. It makes things difficult. And I've known some people who are YouTube creators who have transitioned away from true crime because they just found it too strict and very hard to make a living, since it's very easy to get all your shit demonetized.
Right. And Yergi, what do you think? Is it similar thoughts or something else?
So it's definitely similar thoughts. Mine was just like one word. It's YouTube. YouTube is what's in the way. Like completely in the way for impeding you of doing what you need to do.
Yeah, I've never quite understood, and especially I mentioned earlier the adpocalypse that sort of welcomed many of us back in 2016 into the wonderful world, or 2017, is that at this late date, YouTube hasn't figured out how to have some kind of tiered content, whatever, where advertisers know that if they're putting their name on this is what you're getting, and they're cool with that, and they still allow it to happen, whether it's age restricted or they just, even if they just like put up something like, if they had a mandatory disclaimer on certain content that just gave you one pause, like they do with most 18-year-old stuff, but then didn't immediately quash the idea of you being able to monetize it. Something like that. But I don't know why, given the popularity of not only true crime stuff, but just like news stuff talking about the events of the day, which sometimes can be very unwelcome, but still necessary for dissemination. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's interesting how YouTube has an 18 plus category, but then also a made for kids category, and then there's this gray area in between. There was a period of time where if you said the word child too much in one video, you were automatically flagged as a kid's video.
And it wasn't even just that too. For a period of time, and I don't know why this was, I mean, I have my assumptions as to why this was, we had to blur faces of child victims. So we'd be telling their story, or they'd be missing, and we'd have to blur their face.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the only picture would be on the thumbnail.
And we talked to YouTube support, and they would be like, well, you're endangering the welfare of children. And I'm like, this child died 5 years ago. And then like, I go to Twitter, I try to talk to YouTube support on there, because it's funny that YouTube's most cohesive support for creators, and this has been a well-known fact for years, is not through their own platform, it's through Twitter.
Yes.
The most responsive creator liaison with the most control over things is on Twitter, not through YouTube's creator support.
Yeah, the only time I've ever interacted with anybody at YouTube was through just tagging Team YouTube on Twitter and saying, hey, why did this happen or whatever else. And one time, like the problem that I had, which was completely unjustified, they zapped a video on my channel from 3 years back because we had been talking about a story regarding the 6th of January, and it flagged it as promoting violent actions or conspiracy theories or something. And you could, if you saw the video, it was just me reading a CNN story about the event. And I was like, hey, why was this taken down? This is a 3-year-old. And within 5 minutes, I got a response from something that seemingly was not a robot saying, yeah, we know about the issue and we're correcting it. I'm like, oh, somebody tweaked the algorithm today and it suddenly hit a whole bunch of people. And that's apparently what happened. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's always some kind of automated message or something. And especially, oh man, I tell you what, trying to interact with their appeals program or a system where the only way you can try to oppose something is if you give out all of your personal information to a complete stranger ahead of time who you don't even know who it is. Like, I had the weirdest situation not too long, well, I guess this is almost a year ago now. I got a defamation hit on my channel over a TEDx I did like 4 months earlier. Somebody somehow had decided that because I criticized what they were saying on this TEDx, this was defamation. And so at first it was just like, oh, your video has been banned in Great Britain. And I was like, wow. And so I republished the video with a new thumbnail that said banned in the UK. And I thought, wow, look at this. And then the next day it was, your video has been banned in Saudi Arabia for defamation. I'm like, Saudi Arabia? And I was like, does this person have dual citizenship? Maybe that's it. And then 3 days later, it was a copyright claim, community strike, whatever the heck, one more of those things, and my channel would be deleted and all this other stuff. And it was like the only way I could oppose it was either do nothing and let it lapse, or send this person all my personal information who I didn't even know who it was. And I kept asking them, I said, can you tell me where in the video I committed defamation? Because it is a rare day on those things that I ever actually address the person so much as what they're saying. And I don't know anything about the person. To do defamation, you have to like say a lie about them, you know, not to be true, and da-da-da-da-da. And they wouldn't even respond with telling me. They just said, you've been charged with defamation, not give me any details. So I can't even, in their process to appeal this, you have to say, tell us where you think we're wrong. And like, I don't even know where you guys say you're right. What am I supposed to do? And YouTube is ridiculous sometimes.
To your earlier point about how you have to give this information to a complete stranger, that this has been a well-documented thing that people will do. They will file false copyright strikes against channels, and then in order to counterclaim it, you have to, and I've seen the form, you have to give your name, you have to give your home address.
Yes.
And I can't remember phone numbers on there, but name and address. You have to essentially dox yourself. There has been, I think there's a workaround now that you can give your lawyer's name and address, but they used to not allow that. But there are people who have filed that to get that person's name and address, and then they swatted them. And this has happened on more than one occasion. And YouTube's aware it's a problem, but they would rather take their money and do other things with it, I guess, than fix like glaring issues that have been here for years.
So this is a problem on Facebook too, because I've started migrating our material over to Facebook because, you know, YouTube's just terrible half the time. And honestly, the people on Facebook are like so much nicer in the comments. But every time I upload, it's these rando channels. I can't even find their channels in the Middle East. Apparently they're following us, and when I upload, they immediately put like copyright strikes all through the video so that we can't like collect anything off of it or anything. So I had to go through this whole big process, threatening legal action, saying, this is our original content, this is all the licenses we have for B-roll, stop. And it's like constant, they just keep letting these people do it. And if you can like imagine all the channels they probably do that to, and people don't want to go through the appeals process, they're probably just making like free money off of everybody.
Yeah, a few dollars here, a few dollars there, and then somebody in another country where there's, you know, a really strong exchange between the US dollar, they could make a decent amount of money. So that's really all it is. Like it's just casting a wide net and seeing who's going to take action and who doesn't. And somebody that abuses that process, Facebook will not do anything about it.
They don't care.
There's been a couple channels that we've been dealing with. I mean, we started uploading.
It was probably a couple months ago, and it's the same to every single time. It's absolutely
there
ridiculous.
were some before that, like, because even before we moved, we were dealing with some of that, like on some other.
Oh, that
channels.
guy who made there was that guy.
I want to say it was like a solid 6 months or so. This has been going on with the same
Jeez.
offenders, and there's no real good Facebook support, and their back office is super janky. So
Yeah. Well, I know we could probably have an entire panel discussion about this at some point in the future, but you guys got a split for a prior engagement, so I'll exit you guys out. You guys check out The Misery Machine on YouTube. On Twitter, it's at misery_podcast. And again, excellent work. Not for the weak of stomach as far as content's concerned, but if you're interested in true crime and want to be more aware about what's going on out there when it comes to not only the system, when it comes to children, cases involving children and teens, take a look at Misery Machine, and appreciate you guys taking the time out today to pop in.
absolutely happy to be here. Happy 8 years.
Thank you.
If this gets over with, hopefully we'll be back in stream before you finish. But
Okay.
if not, have a great stream.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. See you soon.
See ya.
Yep, so there you go. Drewby and Yurgi of Misery Machine. Yeah. So I want to give them a little outro there. It's been such a strange and wonderful experience to make friends in the genre, as it were, just by accident. Just like finding it was Matt Orchard, I think it was, who had just started his channel effectively. He had 2,000 subscribers, and I was like, "Hey, can I interview you for my little interview series?" And he's like, "I've never been interviewed before. I'm happy to break your cherry." And then starting with that, and then making more friends, and then all of a sudden I start a show. Just crazy stuff. But anyway, anybody else need to leave soon? I don't want to get things started or something if you guys got to split.
I will have to go get some dinner soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
for a little bit longer if you need be. But...
Okay, P-Dog, tell everybody what you're up to and what's coming up soon that you want to plug.
Well, what I'm up to is it's my mother-in-law's birthday, so we're gonna.
Happy birthday to mother-in-law!
And we love her. She's great. She's cool. Yeah, I just do my show Monday through Friday on. I think everyone. I look at the chat and I think I know pretty much every name there.
I know, right?
Monday through Friday on my channel, the Morning Night Live. Just always getting caught up on news, which from my occasional swearing perspective, and then I have two other channels. Marty Got Jokes. It's pretty much all dad jokes. In fact, we're going a series right now that my daughter, for my 60th birthday, gave me 60 cards. One was a birthday card, and the others are all dad jokes.
Nice.
Just do little shorts on that channel, and then I also have Marty's Big Journey, which is just little travel shorts from. My wife and I travel pretty much every weekend. But when I say travel, it means we might drive somewhere that's within 4 or 5 hours, and then just there. And so we do that a lot, and I have a lot of footage from that too. So got a lot of stuff going on. And I have 2 grandbabies now. So.
Oh, geez. Well, congratulations, Grandpa.
So that's it. And a lot of you, like I said, it's nice to see some names in the chat I haven't seen for a while, and ones I see every day, and it's a good thing. So, and I appreciate you having me on, Scribe. It's always
I appreciate you coming on, and I'm very glad that we've become friends over the years, and everything aligned for us to meet.
Yeah,
I appreciate you.
We'll collab again one of these days.
Yep. All right. You take care, dude.
All right, brother. Thanks.
All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, did you guys know that he's actually royalty? The P in his name means prince. Yeah, he's a prince of an African tribe. He was even on the Today Show at one point. It was either Good Morning America or Today Show way back in the 90s, I think it was, where they traveled with him to meet his family over there. Yeah. So,
Interesting.
He's a bona fide celebrity. Let's see. So, Andy, you got to take off for dinner?
Yeah, I got to go see what my wife wants to eat. You know how that's going to be.
I don't, because I'm lonely and single.
It's going to be, I'm going to say, hey, what do you want to eat? She says, I don't care, whatever you want. I'm going to suggest something. She's going to say anything but that. And I'll suggest something else. She'll say anything but that. And so, all right, what don't you want to eat? And we'll work through a process of elimination.
Wow, you're a great advocate for the institution of marriage. Thank you, Andy. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Scribe.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Andy. Take care and Yep. Have a good rest of the evening, and I'll talk to you soon.
Cool. Yeah, because I like to talk comic books.
Yeah, we got to talk comic books now. Take care.
Bye,
man.
guys.
Take care.
All right. Let's see. The lovely Sherry is. I'm lonely and single too. Well.
Aw.
Welcome
I need a
to the
wifey.
club.
Come on over.
There you go. Waifu. Well, now there were 3. All right. So who here has to leave
3
next? Who's,
amigos.
who's going to abandon me next to my horde of fans? Are you guys in here for the long haul?
I think
I'm back. I've got another 20 minutes in me.
20 minutes? Okay.
So sorry,
well,
I was attending to something. I'm not sure if you
okay.
saw my message in the private chat about it. So
yeah, I just be right back.
okay, be right back. Cool.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
Tom and I can carry it.
Carry
Are we
what?
carrying?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said that you'll be right back. I'm sorry, man. I thought you said you'll be right back, Scribe. I was like, okay,
No.
Tom can carry
No, I
it.
know. I was reading your message in the chat. Anyway, if you guys in the audience can't tell, this is not a formatted or planned stream of any way, shape, or form. This is all just catch as catch can.
Not one.
Let's see. I thought I had something else here. I did plan a couple of things, but not too many. Oh well, how about this? How about we revel in a momentous occasion that occurred.
Let's do it.
In the history of my show. Another little 3-minute clip, or just less than 3-minute clip.
Old school
Scribe. Little piece of history that some of you in the audience were here for. If you were not, you can relive it now, at least for the moment. Let me turn off the piano music to get that out of the way. And here is a momentous occasion in the history of my series, Ted Excellence.
June 10th, 2021. A day that will live in infamy.
Okay. Oh boy. Oh boy. Juggernaut, Scribe Light, if you want to go feminism, she did make it about mainly how women were oppressed. I can't argue with that at all. So that means 2 more.
Bingo.
What?
Of course!
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Okay. Lady Gopher says pink tax as the weightless example. Patrice says 7th grade as a weightless example. Featherless bipedal. Weightless example, pun aside, her story about the lady who died with cancer is quite broad. I swear to God, guys, I am not fudging this. I am not going easy on this. It's the aggregate beyond everything else. It's finally fucking happened!
Oh my God! Hallelujah! Holy shit! What? Where's the Tylenol?
This was the one of all the Ted Excellences. This is the one? Really? Really? This is it? This is what happens? I gotta do it again.
Oh my God! Hallelujah! Holy shit! What? Where's the Tylenol?
Yep, there we go. The very first of only, thus far, I think 3 blackouts over the course of the history of the TEDx show since the bingo card was implemented.
Wow.
And in fact, I think it was Kurt Metzger who suggested I do the little bingo stingers in there when we got bingos and everything. So yeah, he was like, what was that line from Inglourious Bastards where he says bingo? Like, oh yeah, that's right. So that was the first.
That's a bingo.
Bingo.
Is that how you say it? That's a bingo. Well,
That's a
I think you
bingo.
just say bingo.
Yeah. But yeah, a blackout was a long anticipated event that really just you kept kind of missing, but then we hit that one, and it was a stream that was so messed up from the beginning. It was like a cursed stream because I made an overlay for it, and somehow the overlay didn't stick, so the overlay was the wrong one for the show, and I felt all discombobulated at the beginning of the show, and as we proceeded through the talk, she just hit every single branch on the way down as we went, and as I watched the card fill up, I'm like, it's not going to happen today, is it? Because I just made that blackout stinger.
Oh yeah.
I think within 3 or 4 days prior, just as a in case it ever happens kind of thing. It was just like an insurance policy. But then all of a sudden there it was. We've had one whiteout, only one whiteout where like nothing on the card got hit at the time. And since I've never really played that one except for once, this is what it looks like.
This case is empty. What do you mean, empty?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Right?
Yeah, I only played that once before on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. But yeah, the blackout on the bingo card was an amazing event. Amazing event. It was a long time in coming. It's happened only a couple times since, but it doesn't happen very often. But yes, did one last night. The TEDx of why women don't shit at work. I don't know. Yeah, no, that's the title. That was the title. And so based only on that title, I was like, well, I'm too curious not to find out what the answer to that is in a TEDx presentation. And boy, I got an answer, sort of. Those of you that were there for it, you know what happened last night. You know who you are. But I dropped my music. Suddenly it feels far too quiet around here. Let me get my music back on. There we go.
Yeah,
now it feels like a show.
I feel like I'm at the Chicago Jazz Bar at the Green Mill. It's a historical place that Al Capone used to hang out. He had his hideout there too, behind the bar, under the floor. So this makes me feel like I'm right back there.
You know, whenever I think about Al Capone, I can't help but think about Geraldo Rivera trying to find Al Capone's hidden vault and coming up with nothing and being embarrassed on camera. I thought that was hilarious. I actually did a Capone movie not that long ago with Tom Hardy playing Capone.
They did. I didn't see it, but I was wondering. I did wonder about if it was going to be any good.
If I remember right, it was directed by Josh Trank, who did the failed Fant Four Stick film.
Oh, did he really do it? What?
Yeah, I think that was his shot at redemption or something as a filmmaker, and he somehow was able to cobble together a Al Capone movie starring Tom Hardy, which is just bizarre. I don't know if Midnight's Edge ever covered that one, but when I heard Josh Trank doing a Capone movie, I thought, that doesn't sound like a fun time, but it was something that got made. Let's see, got some more chats here real quick. Toku154, hooray, 8 years. Yes, thank you, Toku. And Pox Toxic, pardon me. Happy 8 Scribe. Thank you, Pox. Let's see, I saw the next 6 minutes said something up here that I think I missed. And there it is. Been a pleasure knowing you, Scribe. Well, I'm still around. One of the goodest dudes I've met on the internets and a good dude to hang out with. Thank you, Six. Appreciate it.
I like that. Goodest. It's got
goodest.
The goodest dudes.
Wasn't that a Joe Bidenism not too long ago or
was
something?
Was it? Oh boy, man. What isn't it for that guy? He comes up with all sorts of statements on the fly.
Yeah, we could talk politics forever on here, and my voice would give out.
Oh man!
So Nick, Nick, what do you have coming up? Coming up in the near future? You'd like to let people know about?
Tonight I got Klobby's Comic Shop. I do every Friday night, and basically it's a comic show where we actually talk about comics. I know since Halloween season's coming up, we're going to talk a Hellboy comic, and of course we'll talk about some of the current going-ons as well. So, and of course we really incentivize alcoholic beverages. So it's a comics and drinking show. So if you're straight edge, you're welcome to come hang. That's fine too, but it's just something we specialize in. Of course, Sunday I'll be doing a Penguin stream after the show ends.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. So that's what's coming up on my side.
Cool. And let's see. And you're just to make sure, because I only see you ever as Nick Weiser. Your channel on YouTube is Nick Weiser.
32 flavors of Nick Weiser.
32 flavors of Nick Weiser.
I will give you my channel.
Yeah, pop that.
Get it for you.
Yeah, pop that in the chat or something, or otherwise. I should have had that on me, but I didn't know all who was going to show up today.
It's okay.
And or maybe Keeverdam, the den mother, who's been posting everybody else's links, will have it there too.
I just posted in the private chat. So
okay, got it. I will pass that along. Copy, and paste. There you go.
You know, considering all the crazy that we hear about all the time with like politics, culture war, it's nice to have shows where you can kind of get away from them a bit and kind of enjoy the fun things of life. Because
yes,
it helps us stay. It helps us all stay balanced, and that's kind of why I did these shows. Because that way, I'm never burnt out on talking about either thing. It's because when you talk too much about the culture war, it'll drive a man crazy. You're like, oh man, it's kind of like the whole I need a drink because I've been just talking about bad shit all day. I need to balance the mind out, and that's kind of like why I went about this route. And it seems like it's been a very therapeutic route for everyone. So whether it's the listeners or the people on the panel, well, thank you for subscribing, Kyverdam. I'll be sure not to let you down, and please come visit us tonight, 8:30 Central.
Yeah, there's I mean, it is useful and cathartic to criticize and look at all the garbage going on in the world and sort of like have a little cynicism venting at here's and times, but occasionally you do need to just sort of let's talk about something fun. Let's do something lighthearted. Let's talk about something that's not so important or so dramatic. And and that's what I get out of a lot of channels on here. That's what I try to do at least once a Thursday, even if it is a little sardonic in nature, looking at some of these TEDx talks and or looking at the news on Sunday or whatever. But hopefully everybody gets something about it, or out of it, I should say. As I start to lose my words, I usually don't. I usually have a rule that I don't stream longer than 2 hours because either my voice is going to go out or my brain's going to go out, or vice versa. And so, the rules I've learned about streaming is try never to have more than 5 people on a stream at a time, unless everybody's very well behaved, let's say, because too much crosstalk can turn to chaos. And 2, don't stream more than 2 hours if you can help it. Of course, I did myself in today by saying I'd do a 3-hour stream, which is fine, but at least I was prepared.
It's a special occasion. So when you got a special occasion, people know. And it's good that you go about that route, Scribe, because I'm a firm believer that you want to leave the crowd wanting more. I mean, not everyone is Mauler, and that's fine. Mauler is Mauler. So we, when we have guys like that, you let him be the Mauler. Because other than that, you can't maintain that type of thing. And also, you want to make sure you want to have your listeners invested. That, to me, is a very important thing, is keeping your listeners invested. You don't want to have them, all the time for 4 or 5 hours. And eventually... some people can take it in stride. If you guys don't know about Mauler does, let's say, full-fledged, hours-long documentaries on subjects, which, a lot of people like long-form stuff on here. Don't get me wrong. I occasionally just like putting on something in the background that's either like a long-form true crime thing or some like The Right Opinion or something, talking about some internet personality drama going on just for the sake of having something to listen to. But avoiding dead air, keeping your panel discussions to 5 max, unless it's a special occasion, and not going so long that your voice runs out. Tom, what have you guys over at Midnight's Edge got going on or would like to promote as a new channel that you're putting out there for stuff and things?
Well, we're deep at work in our Nosferatu Midnight's Edge experience, which entails a retrospective, the movie itself, some music, music videos.
Yeah,
all
you
that
are
kind
you are remixing, re-editing the original film for this project.
Yeah, because Andre and I discovered there was a lot of errors between tinting and title cards and some stuff like that. And plus, we're just going to kind of spruce it up, jazz it up a little bit. Even though people thought that the original score was found, the versions that are out there are kind of more or less just pieced together and then pieces filled in by other people. So yeah, so I wrote my own score for it, and I got so into it that I even did like an inspired by soundtrack. And then Andre, and I've been just working nonstop, practically around the clock the last couple of weeks, just trying to re-edit the film and get it all to where it's supposed to be with everything proper. Yeah, he's been he translated from the German, and
yeah, I've had the privilege, I can say, of being able to see an early cut of the film. And yeah, guys, so the original Nosferatu silent film, cleaned up, retranslated, original soundtrack, practically a brand new production for all things considered. And when is that releasing, Tom?
Hopefully this weekend sometime.
Okay, hopefully this weekend. And also it's going to be on the Midnight's Edge new channel, Midnight's Edge Retrospectives and Classics. So look for that. If you have a link for that directly, Tom, I can put that out there.
Yeah, I can get you the link for that. But I know it feels like it's been forever since we first announced it, but it's been nonstop work. And when it all comes out, like between the movie and, I mean, the retrospective alone is almost feature length.
Right. Yeah,
Like
that's the thing, guys. This channel's going to have documentaries on film. It's going to have redone or cleaned up films or custom films from public domain and things like that as the channel proceeds and evolves. So if you're interested in film at all or just curious about these kinds of things, and like I say, Midnight's Edge, I have been watching those guys since I think around the Fant 4-stick era. When those documentaries came out, I remember just binging the new developments in the whole Josh Trank saga behind the scenes for the Fantastic Four movie. And so as far as like in-depth analysis of what goes on behind the scenes and research and expertise in these things, I would not recommend anyone else more highly than Midnight's Edge for this kind of stuff. And so when they say they're going to do a retrospective on something, whether it's Conan the Barbarian or the Marvel Universe or the Star Trek rights situation or anything else.
Ghostbusters 2016.
Holy cats. Holy cats. Yeah, their coverage of Ghostbusters 2016.
The tail end of that,
Yeah, Ghostbusters 2016 was something I was watching with bated breath for the next amazing entry in that complete saga of nonsense. But yeah, so we're in the chat right now, guys.
Was really good. The Graham Hancock stuff you guys did last
year. Oh yeah.
And then there was the initial Bud Light video when the whole Dylan Mulvaney. I mean, that helped a lot of people understand the concept of VSG. I feel like that was a very normie-friendly video. So yes, Midnight Edge's strip, as the Macho Man would like to say, the cream of the crop.
Well, I appreciate it. We do try to treat every video kind of like with the Stan Lee kind of sense of this could be anybody's first video to Midnight's Edge.
Right.
So we never try to present a video in a way where we assume everybody's seen all our other videos or our interviews or whatever and stuff like that. So yeah, but the retrospectives is something that the channel was kind of built on, and it's something that the fans have been clamoring more for, and it's just with all the the news going on and the modernity that's going on in the news with the politics and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of caused a bit of we used to have a classic crowd that wasn't necessarily in one political side or the other or what have you, and we never used to get real political, and movies and television got political around us. That's kind of what happened. So we listened to our fans, and so this is one of the first things that we knew we had to get going because the fans like the classic style, and we think that part of the reason they've been suffering so bad when we do drop these retrospectives, because that's the other thing, guys, is they take a lot of work. Right? Like, I mean, I've done I don't know how many of them now with Andre, where outside of our Conan one, and I think maybe our Rambo and Godzilla one did okay, but like I've done plenty where they just don't get views because they get lost in the shuffle or what have you. So yeah, that's kind of where this channel is going to be dedicated mainly to that kind of stuff. So if you're somebody who wants to avoid all that kind of stuff or get into an entertainment background on something without having to worry about some modern politics really diving into it too much, that's the place to be.
So are you guys going to be re-uploading some of your old retrospectives on there in the future?
That's the plan. Like, we're hopefully going to do like some either director's cuts or revise and add things to them, things that maybe happened since.
Yeah, because Andre and yours is a Conan explanatory videos got me back into Conan after many years of not really paying attention.
That's when I know he does want to revisit probably sooner than later. So like I know there's been some updates and some other things that he wanted to add to that. And like one I really poured my heart and soul into was like the Karate Kid one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nobody watched it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But we've had our He-Man one that we have to get back to as well. And
oh yeah.
Some of the other ones we've been working on over the years. I mean, when I first started this with Andre, the Conan one was one of the first ones I worked on. And at that point, he wanted to do the whole thing as one big thing. And I'm like, you do realize, Andre, this is going to end up being like a 3-hour documentary.
Right.
And it's going to take me 3 years to edit it. Like, that's the thing. So he's like, you are correct. We are going to have to split this up.
I can hear it now, Andre saying that.
Yeah. So that's kind of how things go. Otherwise, our other biggest one we ever did was probably the Ghostbusters retrospective. But
yes,
the downside of that one was we dropped that almost at the same exact time that Netflix dropped their behind the scenes movies that made us thing.
Oh.
And both had a lot of revelations that weren't exactly well known to the public yet. And we got accused of ripping them off. It's like, do you guys realize how long it took for us to put this video together and to drop it damn near at the same time as them? It's almost impossible for us to have copied their video. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
It's just, they just probably used the same sources as we did for said information, which is true because they actually had the real people there. And a lot of where I was pulling the primary sources from were a lot of interviews with the same people. So yeah, it's just happened to be that.
Yeah, some unavoidable overlap there.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so guys,
no,
check
not
out,
to toot on that horn any longer and louder. Just thank you so much for the praise, and we appreciate it and humbled by it. And yeah.
Oh well, I extend the same back to you. Like I say, the fact that I've been invited onto your guys' shows now almost as a regular event is just beyond anything I could have imagined.
Now.
And just another example of just the things that I never would have expected to have happened as a result of just putting a goofy video about complaining on some lady who was wanting tree surgeons to be replaced with robots or whatever. It was just...
It's one thing to be adopted by me once Andre adopts you and you're allowed to stay in the house. That's a whole different story.
Oh yeah, I don't even. That was just something else. I was like
it just happens eventually out of the blue. He will adopt people, and once he does,
I don't know what to do about that accent. That accent just like makes me feel all like this is official now.
It's like you're talking to your dad all the time or something. It's like
we're like a learned academic that I just
it's just an authority figure that you can.
Yes. And also Viking. Also Viking.
Pleasant but stern.
A pleasant Viking. Yeah, a pleasant Viking. Yeah, he only pillages occasionally.
And he does send his regards for your anniversary.
Oh, I figured because of the time difference and everything else that anyway, well, I think you guys said you had to split. I'm not quite sure what the timing was here.
He said he had to go in about 20 minutes, and that was 20 minutes ago ish.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I do gotta get moving, but no,
I'm good to go. But I'm not gonna keep you.
Oh, no. I was just going to check and make sure I wasn't keeping anybody else. Well, okay, so Nick, you got your show coming up tonight?
Yes, sir. A handful of your people subscribe to my channel, which thank you, by the way. Please come out tonight. Clubby's Comic Shop at 8:30 Central. It's going to be a good time, especially right now. We need more of that in the world. So this is me trying to actually be a part of the solution. So I hope to see some of you tonight. And thanks for having me, Scribe. Congrats on 8 years. I'll see you when you hit 10. It's going to be diabolical. It's going to be huge.
Huge. Well, thanks, Nick, for stopping in, and have a good show tonight, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you. All right.
Take care.
Take care, guys. See you, Tom.
Take care.
Well, Tom, you want to do a TEDx? You have time for it, I guess is the first question. I can always do it by myself. I have some experience.
How long is it?
Well, it is 17 minutes long, so with commentary, that's probably... Actually, I might be shooting myself in the foot by saying maybe almost another hour. That's probably too much, huh? Might save it. I might save it for another time then. I think.
I mean, if you want to do it on your own, I could probably check out for you so you can do your thing. But yeah, I don't know if I could hang in a whole nother hour.
Yeah, that's probably too much. Yeah, I kept looking at the clock and just like, how much longer can I go versus?
And if it was like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, no. Yeah, this the thing is that I look at the duration of it and I think to myself, multiply that by about 4.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you start pausing it.
Yeah. Once you start pausing it, you add in a couple of minutes, they start adding up.
I was thinking if you had like a 30-minute one, you're right. I was like, yeah, maybe we'll be out of here about 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. Well, I guess the question is, do I have any TEDx's in my little library that are very short? Let's see. What do I have?
Do they even do them that short? Those people don't know how to
Oh, let's see. I have a 5-minute long one.
Really?
The beautiful paradoxes of a multicultural identity.
That works. That sounds just woke enough for us.
Okay. Well, let me pop that into the old browser here. Oh, and this is an actual, a 5-minute TED Talk? Let me make sure this isn't like a TEDx. No, that is not a TEDx Youth. That is an old man. Okay.
Okay.
I'm always wary of like
I
short.
remember you bringing that up. Yeah.
Yeah, just like not quite my.
We do actually watch your shows in the background, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
not all of them, but I mean, I try to. Yeah.
All right, so everyone, this is a 5-minute long TED Talk. The beautiful paradoxes of a multicultural identity, whatever that means. I'm going to turn down the music just a smidge.
We're about to find out.
All right. No bingo right now. I think a 5-minute one is probably too short for the most of it. But if you guys want to play at home, I believe there are links. If I put the links to the bingo card, I might not have. But anyway, let's get on with it. Beautiful paradoxes. Shut Up Ted theme song. Let's skip over that so I don't get copyright claimed or something.
I am so honored to be on stage representing TED's growing recognition of the importance of its immigrant diaspora community.
Immigrant diaspora community. Okay, well, please distinguish for me. Do you mean legal or illegal? Because really, I
What's
do
diaspora mean? That's a word I don't.
It's a fancy word for demographic.
Okay.
And as I say that, let me double check because I'm always uncertain. Diaspora, the dispersion or spread of a people from their original homeland. Pardon me. So I guess technically it is kind of like a demographic, but anyway. So people that have spread out from where they originated from.
Oh, yeah.
I am an Iranian American.
So they call them immigrants.
Sure. Vancouver, BC, April 2024.
A kind of free-range Iranian.
That takes on a whole different tenor in the last several weeks, as this was done earlier this year, but okay.
Lucky to be here with all you and free to embrace all my native cultures, positive elements, the poetry, the music, philosophy, and hospitality every day in ways that many Iranians inside Iran cannot.
Oh, okay. So we have someone who's against the regime, sounds like, which is a welcoming thought, all things considered.
But I also love having the bow of my identity stretched between two seemingly opposed poles of Iranian and American.
But this is in Vancouver, BC, so are you just like, did you defect?
Because that gives the arrow of my life a unique perspective on things. Okay. I want to share a couple of American ideals that explicate this multicultural dichotomy in me.
Explicate? Oh my gosh, my English major senses are tingling.
The first is independence. Yeah. In America, independence is foundational, the bedrock of our freedom that makes us all us Americans feel exceptional.
To each their own. I guess we're exceptional after a fashion, but that word can mean a whole different lot of things, not necessarily always positive.
Unlike my Iranian side, where everyone is in everyone's business, I'm free, maybe even driven, to pursue my own happiness, and that feels so liberating.
I don't know if you've noticed how many information data leaks and everybody asking to track your motions and progress on apps these days, but I think we're more into everybody's business than you might want to admit to. Just not in the same way as perhaps Iranian theocracy is, but sure.
The other is continuous improvement, the idea that you can always do better. America is a duocracy that is always reinventing herself. We make mistakes and keep on growing and growing. That's why it's so exciting to be an entrepreneur in America.
Oh, is this going to be used as a sales pitch? Also, by the way, for those of you that don't know, I do have to pause occasionally just for the sake of YouTube and content matching and all that. So this is still commentary, criticism, and fair use. And that was an extra pause just for the heck of it.
We're free to try to build anything our hearts desire.
Anything? How about a successful true crime YouTube channel? Oh,
for me,
I
these
bet if I
days,
tried to build a house made of chocolate, it wouldn't last long.
yeah. Oh, heck, just try to build a house these days that you could afford.
Right? No kidding, yeah.
Jeez.
it's taking on our corrupt political duopoly and working to democratize democracy itself.
Whoa, wait. Sorry,
That's a lot of double words there.
Yeah, let's try that one again.
Political duopoly.
I need more time.
Mistakes and keep on growing and growing. That's why it's so exciting to be an entrepreneur in America. We're free to try to build anything our hearts desire. For me these days, it's taking on our corrupt political duopoly and working to democratize democracy itself.
That's not a business.
You'd be surprised what people can turn into a business out of the idea.
Being sarcastic, but
oh, I can't tell because you just that's just it's sort of like resting bitch face. You just have like resting sarcastic voice.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right.
Isn't it amazing that as an American, I just get to do that without fear or permission?
Without what are you doing? Like, I need specifics first. What
but he
exactly
didn't
is
invent anything. He just created bitching. That's all he
that?
said.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
But I'm Iranian too, and have the ancient wisdom of Iranian mystics Ferdowsi, Hafez, and Rumi running through my veins.
Okay, and what does that mean?
That's not how the Force works.
So each of these American traits give my Iranian psyche cause for pause and reflection.
Iranian traits. Okay.
For instance, independence is great, but if I'm truly independent, then I don't need anything or anyone. That's kind of lonely.
No man is an island.
Well, he's talking about the difference between need and want. Yeah, do you need somebody else to survive? Not necessarily.
Well, Maslow's triangle. I mean, it's one of those. Yeah. Thank you, Kieverdam. Which bingo card? We're not doing bingo card. It's a 5-minute talk.
This whole thing's a bingo.
Yeah, the whole thing is just it's probably going to turn out to be a WTF. I might still do a WTF stinger if we get to something goofy.
He's trying to pretend that bitching about politics is like a thing that he created.
Yeah, or well, I mean, as compared to Iran, bitching about politics is probably a very novel idea because in Iran you really can't. So if we're talking about comparisons between his homeland and where he is now, I can't blame him for seeing the difference in
I can get
stark
behind
contrast.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks here, but we keep telling people it could be worse. We could be in Iran.
Sure. And now I'm just wondering, okay, well, he's talked about being an entrepreneur. He's talked about what I do for a living now. Is this, I'm curious, I'm very curious to know if he tells us what exactly is his business that monetizes complaining about the government that isn't just like, I don't know, a talk show, which would be fine too.
Iranians are congenitally hospitable and tribal. In fact, the word Iran itself is a portmanteau of the word ear and on, where ear comes from the word yar, literally friendship or love, and on comes from ostan or land of.
Wow, a more ironic notion given the circumstances of the last couple of weeks and hell, the last couple of decades, let's say, since the revolution in '79. I can't think of something that's more sad that that's the meaning of the name and what the result has been.
Shout out to our cultural cousins from Ireland, another land of love.
Okay.
Anyway, where does this love and friendship fit into my Statue of Liberty-esque, freedom-loving American
That's
psyche?
where my ancestors came from.
The Statue of Liberty?
Ireland.
Oh, Ireland. Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought
Ireland, that's what he was saying, yeah.
Oh, I honestly didn't catch
Which
that.
we fight all the damn time, which is bullshit. We can't even get along with the Scots. And they're basically our cousins.
Yeah, well, my side of my mother's family is Scottish.
We hate everybody, so.
I know, yeah.
And love requires connection and interdependence, as we found out earlier. And interdependence is, well, kind of un-American.
No, it's not.
Huh?
No, interdependence. We are a union of states We rely upon each other for economy, defense, and so on. So, in fact, the United States of America implies an interdependence. It does not eschew sovereignty or individual thinking, but it's in the name, united. So I'm not trying to harp on him too much here, but that notion is just a little bit not. Look at the label first.
After all, Americans never had a declaration of interdependence.
But we are the United States of America, and our independence was from an overriding monarchy. You know, not so much unlike the theocracy that you are no longer subject to, not being in Iran. Where are you going with this?
So my Iranian side begs for me to differ here. As my beloved Sufi uncle Behzad used to say, love is the ether the universe swims in.
I'm getting mixed messages here. What is your point? You've only got like a minute and a half left.
So without love, we literally have nothing. So to be independent or to be in love?
You can... Okay, maybe my definition of love is just somewhere off in the Netherland or something. You can maintain your agency and your independence while still being partnered with someone, or I guess in the case of like states and so on, something. I mean, we're all part of the United States, but the cultures between California and Portland, Maine differ drastically, and yet we all still call ourselves Americans because we are, despite our differences. So
that is the cross-cultural question for me. And what about the American ideal of continuous improvement? That seems downright productive if you ask my American side. But again, my Iranian side disagrees. I remember a magnet on my mom's fridge. If you're ever going to be happy, you must be happy now.
What is it? How does that preclude self-improvement?
Hinting at a tiny existential problem. It's always now.
But yes, but if you focus on being happy every day, despite what life is going to throw at you, which is inevitable anyway.
Yeah, but what if I was happier then?
Well, I don't know, Tom.
This guy's logic is bullshit.
I need 1.21 gigawatts.
If somebody
to
tells
solve
me
that.
somebody I care about dies now,
Mhm.
I'm going to be sad no matter what his mom's magnet says.
Right. Well, I mean, but you're Irish, so you have a wake or something, right? And you have a party.
Yeah, you just get drunk.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's a kind
You
of
yell at each other.
happiness. Yeah, that's happiness, right? In an Irish family, drunk and yelling.
Pretty much.
That sounded bad. I'm sorry, all the Irish people out there.
I can't take any offense to that because you know how many girlfriends are saying like, "Stop yelling." It's like I'm not fucking yelling. I'm Irish.
It's part of my DNA.
This ain't yelling. This is
Yeah.
not yelling.
You don't know what yelling is yet.
This is normal level. You ain't heard yelling.
Yeah. This
And
is
for
a
some
polite
reason, we all go
conversation.
Boston, real way. Like I don't get it. So
Suddenly you're a Southie whenever you get angry.
every time, I don't get it. I don't know why.
Oh, jeez.
And of course, we have the Iranian mystic poet Rumi imploring us in ode after ode to get drunk and out of our minds.
Oh, there you go. Like Ireland.
So we can become blissfully present in the wow of now.
The Wow of Now. That sounds like the book title for something out of the 70s.
It does, or some bad like tagline for some product from the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So should I work to create a better future or be drunk and happy now? And
Why not both? It doesn't have to be one or the other. You could have a plan and still enjoy the moment. Like, why do you actually operate that way? That sounds a little self-defeating and sort of emotionally schizophrenic.
another multicultural paradox. Or is it? Maybe I've been setting up a false dichotomy all along. There's no real Iranian or American on the stage here in me.
Yes, there is. I mean, if you have dual citizenship, there is. And this is something else. I was thinking about this the other day. I've said this before. People have said, I've heard it said at least, that America does not have its own culture. America does not have its own culture because it is just such a elaborate.
It is a bit of a melting pot, but I mean, we do have things that are essentially American. Yeah.
Well, here's what I was going to say. Our culture is our Constitution. The laws, the freedoms, the ability to speak freely, to congregate freely, at least ideally speaking. Sometimes that is, threatened or impugned upon by certain governmental agencies. Sure. Or chop suey, that was invented in America.
Democracy.
Yeah, it's exactly. Country music is a democracy.
I mean,
obviously it's a democracy because Beyonce's album hasn't actually hit pay dirt the way that she thought it was. Yeah, that's just sort of like. But anyway, our culture is our shared freedoms and laws, Constitution, and those things and attitudes that derive from that. Because that's the one thing that unifies us all is the laws and the Constitution under which we live, which obviously is always under threat in some way, shape, or form of being abused or ignored or otherwise, but the constant fight to form a more perfect union, as he also sort of mentioned here, self-improvement kind of thing.
Well, and that is a big part of our culture too. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
But what is culture if you really break it down, right? It's that what you just said, right?
Yeah.
Then it's also your the type of food, the way your family organizations are, pop culture, whether it's music, entertainment of the time. Those are the things that shape a culture. Sports, what kind of sports you play. I mean, I get it. But that's the thing is it started as a melting pot, but eventually we came up with apple pie and baseball and, the motion picture and rock and roll. So, I mean, it is what it is. We have our things that we did and, we didn't make war, but we made it better. It's kind of what America does.
That's right. That's right. When it comes down to brass tacks, what does America do best? War. Yay, War Incorporated.
TV and wars. We didn't make them both, but we make them better.
That's right. Yeah, TV. Yeah, Philo T. Farnsworth. Look him up. He did the thing. All right, we got another minute left in this. Whatever he's going, this is going to be his conclusion. So here we go.
After all, I'm not some LLM trained in a lab on a discrete set of cultural memes. I am that still magical, mystical fractal of universal consciousness known as human being.
Oh.
This guy smoked too much weed.
He's really trying to convince me of something, but I still don't know what it is. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, then. I don't know your personal history when it comes to the herb.
No, anybody who knows me, I could probably smoke this mofo out the window, but he's done a lot. So much that he's talking about this existential where could be on God's thumbnail, man. He's hit that.
Tom Connors and Snoop Dogg, same level.
A point at the center and circumference of the infinite sphere, as my favorite author, the Argentinian Jorge Luis Borges once wrote.
Wait, an Argentinian? I thought we were talking about Iranians and Americans here. Now you're going all over the place.
And as a magical, mystical life, an MML, we humans are uniquely free to embody whatever useful paradoxes we find whenever it suits us.
Whenever? I don't know. I don't know if I can do that in the workplace.
We can choose to be culturally American or Iranian or both, no matter where we are from.
I don't know if you could get away with being modern, culturally Iranian in this country without risking several laws.
Yeah, because isn't that kind of where his whole point started from?
Yeah. No, I mean, if he's talking about, because he
had me for a minute.
Yeah, he indicated that Iran. He was talking about Iran in the sense of it absent the current oppressions that have been taking place since the revolution in '79. That's what it seemed to me he was indicating to. But if he's talking about the core historical elements of Iran, then maybe that's what he means. But he's being so, I don't know, esoteric about it. I can't really tell what he means. But anyway.
I can even have a favorite author who's neither. And as an MML, we can simultaneously be both independent and free while deeply connected by love to everyone and everything. Always striving for a better future while also happy together Here, now, wow.
But those aren't paradoxes. They can coexist.
Now, wow.
Here, now, wow.
Hey, shown tomorrow.
All right, well, there you go, guys. That might be one of the shortest TED Talks I've ever looked at before.
Can we officially like decide that like the gauge of how soy a man is if he doesn't have a man bun, let's say, like any of the real standard tropes? Because like if that guy's wearing a jacket, you look at him, you couldn't tell necessarily, but you know what I could tell is he had like 1 billion like of those bracelet things. Like is that like a thing lately with like all these like?
I don't know. I've never the
soy guys, like I don't get it. It used to be a thing with like, you know, the like Johnny Depps and stuff like that would wear that kind of stuff all the time, you know, like the old hippy dippy dudes. But now is that like the new thing the lefties have kind of just adopted on their own? Because I noticed that with the guys lately a lot.
Yeah, I see some people with that like little wooden beaded type of thing or something, and I'm not quite sure what.
Or friendship bracelets.
Yeah, rubber bands or something. Like I don't know. I mean, I've seen people have those things, and they are specifically mementos of something. Like this was a ribbon from my mother's wedding dress or something. I've seen people that have stuff like that. That's fine. But yeah, on guys or something, it's like, well, it looks a little hippy dippy, looks a little hipsterish. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily like, pink hair on a woman or something, but it might be. I mean, he didn't have the man bun. He did look like a community college professor, though.
Yeah, I mean, he leaned into that. But I mean, either way, I just something I've noticed.
Let's see. Angela Arriaga wants to clarify here. It's nice to hear that his mother was Zoroastrian rather than Muslim. Indicates they moved here because of the Muslim overtaking of Iran, which is the way they actually. Okay, and no, he was raised Zoroastrian. Religion sounds pretty much like being high. Oh, okay. So he was sort of combining. Okay, like I said, the way that he opened up his talk, it sounded like he was calling back to a pre-theocracy Iran kind of thing, which is good, all things considered, especially recently and in the probably near future. But that's a whole other talk. Well, there you go, guys. A little bit of a quasi TEDx here with Tom Connors of Midnight's Edge. There's 10 minutes left in the official runtime of the show as I had it planned. I don't know if I've got 10 minutes left in my voice, honestly. I'm starting to feel the strain already. Because even with so many esteemed guests to take up the airways, so to speak, I think I might be pushing it.
I don't know, we're the last man standing, so that's
I know. And well, see, I'm kind of stretching time a little bit because purportedly, maybe slightly late, purportedly, Sister Scribe is supposed to make an appearance.
Oh.
My sister, she emailed me and she's like, well, I have an appointment at noon, so I'll see what I can do. And so I'm not sure if her appointment will carry her all the way through 3 hours. But I'm hoping to find out within the next 8 minutes or so. But something I do need to do regardless is take a quick break for biological reasons.
Sponsor.
So, Tom, if you wanted to make an exit, now would be a reasonable time to do so.
Well, if you had to go, then yeah, we can take off.
Okay. And everybody, if you don't already know, as I've said several times about Midnight's Edge and the work of Tom Connors and Andre, how do you say his last name?
We just say Einher. I think it's
Einher. Andre Einher. They cover movies, entertainment, pop culture, comic books, all types of stuff, a lot of behind-the-scenes industry analysis on what's going on with your favorite franchises or maybe your not-so-favorite franchises and how they might become your favorite franchises. And, of course, their new channel, Midnight's Edge Retrospectives and Classics. And also Midnight's Edge After Dark, which is Tom's own little side project that I'm on at least most Tuesdays. And also he does Midnight's Edge After Dark Radio, where he DJs radio songs from movies and TV and elsewise.
I might even do that in a little bit here.
Okay, well, yeah, go check out Midnight's Edge After Dark.
Because fortunately, that's something I can usually do while I'm doing other things around the house and such.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do my best to
provide my own soundtrack while providing you with one.
There you go. Well, thanks for coming on, Tom. Appreciate it. Glad to have gotten to know you over the last couple of years.
Congratulations, man.
Appreciate it. It's a long haul, and it'll be at least another couple of years. I might call it at 10 years. 10 years, I might say, this has been enough. do something
The
else.
moment
We'll
you
see.
decide to quit is when you'll have the most success you'll ever have. You just
That'll probably be it, right? It's like, well, I think today I'm going to you've got 7,000 new subscribers. Like, what? Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
Yeah.
But, all right, well, take care, Tom, and I'll talk to you soon.
In the end, it wasn't the gangsters that got me. It was the diabetes.
Wilfred Brimley, thank you for coming.
Take care, guys.
Bye, guys. Bye. I'm still here. Tom's still
Oh, you're
here.
sticking around? I thought you needed.
Oh, yeah, no. I know. I'm going to stick around for another few minutes, see if Sister Scribe shows up.
Okay. All right. Take care then.
Okay.
Have a good
take
one.
care, dude. I hope he didn't think I was trying to kick him out. I thought he had stuff to do. Anyway. He'll survive. I'll survive. We'll all survive. So we'll wait the next 6 minutes here. No pun intended, but I'll take it, right, 6, if you're still... All right, so I'm going to mute myself for just a moment. I need to dash off briefly. I'll be back momentarily, and then we'll wait and see if Sister Scribe shows up, and if not, then we might start winding things down. But I appreciate you guys hanging out for a minute or 3. Be back in a moment. And we're back. Thanks, guys, for hanging out for a minute here. Well, let's see. How about we do a Ask Me Anything kind of deal for a few minutes here. We'll see what happens if anybody else pops in or if Sister Scribe shows up. So if you have any questions for me, anything you'd like to ask, any suggestions you have, any memories you'd like to share, just pop them in the chat now, and I will take them as they come along. Let's see. In the meantime, also remember, I have a Discord server. You know about the Discord server? Well, let me tell you about the Discord server. I got a Discord server. Link to the Discord server is in the chat right now. If you haven't already joined the Discord server, click on that link. You'll find yourself on the landing channel called Say Hello. And in addition to saying hello, you just have to say the secret word. The secret word will tell me that you've actually watched the stream, are not a bot, and have thus earned the right, the privilege, the entitlement to join the Discord server. And today's secret word is just 8. The number 8. Just say hello, 8. And I'll know that you watched the show. Compilation of old ads when. Oh boy. I do have a video out there from long ago where I did some of those. That's got a compilation of different things. I don't know if I can easily play it right now, but I can point you to it if I get the link here. Hold on a second. Or it might sate your desire for such. Let me find it here. My channel, and I want to go to playlists, and we go to, I think it's ads and promotions or something. Promos and ads. There we go. View full playlist. Super chat ad extravaganza. Copy the link to that and put that in the chat. If it'll work, come on, you can do it. Nope, want to get just the video, not the playlist. And there. Click on that when you have the chance, and there you go. Oh, Chris. This is Chris's first super chat. Thank you, Chris, so much. Thanks for the entertainment over the years. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you enjoyed. Hope I will continue to entertain as time goes on. Thank you so much. Very generous of you. Let's see. Some enemies in Scribe. How many years had you been going when Satsu returned to Lawton to replace SDA? That's when I joined you. Oh boy, now you're testing my memory. Let's see. We had been going on Lords of the Night for, I want to say, a year and a half or something at that point. Almost 2 years. Something like that. And then rounded out the remaining 2 years or whatever it was, 2.5 years with Satsu. I think that's something. I don't have exact dates for you. I'd have to look that up. But something like that. I don't know if that helps. Yeah, haven't spoken to SDA in a while. I don't know if I'm not quite sure what she's doing. She's still writing or something. I don't know. Keeverdam, Scribe, will you still be on Twitter /X and Discord if you do quit YouTube? Oh, I imagine I would be. In one way, shape, or form. If Twitter's still around by then, who knows what happens with that business as time goes on. But, yeah, I'm sure I'll be somewhere doing something. One way or another. I don't know if I can give up the connection with other people and being able to... I think I've, over time, become more accustomed to being some kind of performer of one form or another over the years. So I don't know if I can easily give up that bug or that itch, as it were. Let's see. So maybe I've been around 6 of 8 years. Sounds. Yeah, I think that's about right. Because Monkey and I started streaming. I want to say early 2017, and then it kind of ran from there. And I think SDA left. I want to say it was early 2019. Something like that, and then it was Satsu, Monkey, and I for that through the rest of it. I think I'm rough estimating here. I'm sure there's probably a far more accurate answer somewhere in the playlists. Let's see, Kelder. The only time I ever hear from SD is when she posts the rare post about abortion on Twitter. Yeah, I don't hear much from her anymore. I hope she's all right. Let's see. Angela says, I was thinking about a year and a half. Yeah, I think it was about a year and a half before Satsu came in. Although originally it was supposed to be Monkey, Satsu, and I doing a show once a month. Does anybody here know what the name of that show was supposed to have been? There's a piece of trivia for you. There's some Lords of the Night trivia. What was that show going to be called? What name did we come up with, Monkey, Satsu, and I, for that show? First one who gets the answer right gets a no prize. I don't have any. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a dramatic squirrel. Oh, Angela Arriaga with the answer. That time of the month. You are right, boy. What were we thinking? Doing that once a month? Heck, it turned into every day. Every day. Crazy, I know. Let's see, do I have any updates from Sister Scribe? No. Maybe she got stuck in traffic or something. Maybe she just doesn't love me anymore. That's probably more likely. I think she went to the doctor today, and the doctor told her, your problem is your brother. You really need to excise him from your life. You'd be so much better without him. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's probably it. You know, if she's listening to this in the future right now or something, as she's scrambling to get online, I mean, although I doubt it. She's probably been told, and she probably agrees. You know, it's just time to give it up. Nope, no more sibling relationship. Timothy Seelbeck. Good afternoon to you, Timothy. Thank you so much. That's very generous of you. 8 years. It doesn't seem that long, but it has been fun. I know. I you know, when I start thinking about different things that have happened over the course of my YouTube career, different events, like we did the cereal is soup thing earlier, and the blackout on the bingo card. And when I looked up the date on the blackout on the bingo card, I was like, that was 2021. That was already 3 years ago now. Oh my gosh. Blows my mind. Almost gives me a headache. In fact, I think I'm getting a headache now. Yeah, I've been sitting still and talking too long. And that's always not necessarily a healthy combination. This is why I have to get up and move around. I can't do long streams. And if I end up on like a panel show or something and they start going beyond 2 hours, I just get like, oh man, I don't know if I can stick around. I always feel like bad, like I'm going to, you know, it's rude or something. Like if the stream hasn't ended yet, that I got to leave in the middle. But I've started to learn to set limits, knowing myself as I do. Any other questions or anything, guys? Because I think I'll be wrapping things up soon. Move to Rumble. Yeah. I have a Rumble account. I got some videos up on my Rumble account. I think I tried live streaming there once before. Just hasn't stuck the same way that YouTube has. Let's see. Anything else? Random, did you get that link to the ads compilation? I know it's not all of them. I think some of them have been lost to time, or at least buried within old Lords of the Night streams, but that's something I cooked up a while back. Let's see. Kiverdam, just don't shut down your channel for posterity if someone... Yeah, no, if I ever stop YouTube, it won't be like deleting my channel or something. I'm not planning on doing that. I put too much time and effort into this. So if nothing else, I wanted to at least have a record for myself or for anybody else of this chapter of my life for future reference or posterity. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I'm really feeling my voice starting to go out, and I'm starting to get a headache, and I really haven't eaten anything yet today. I just go down the list of things that I have or haven't done in preparation for this. But just as some closing thoughts, like I said earlier, when I started this thing, I was looking forward to, maybe having 20 people who would subscribe to my channel. I didn't think much of it at the time. And I really don't care about numbers insofar as like connected to my ego or sense of worth or something. But all that being said, the fact that so many of you have stuck with me for all these years, along with my associated friends and colleagues, and now hopefully some of my newer friends and colleagues that they may have met on the stream tonight, the sense of community, the sense of growth, both for myself and for some of you in the audience. I mean, we've seen you have birthdays, get married, have children, go through hardships that oftentimes we've tried to help out with fundraisers and things. Your guys' loyalty, generosity, your intelligence, and I can say that without sounding like I'm just pandering, because if it weren't for the TEDx bingo card and the argumentation and the discussions that we have, I honestly think that is the most worthwhile element of all of those shows, is where we all stop, we take stock of what we listen to, and we discuss, even if we disagree at times, even if I might be a stickler on certain things, that we discuss what we listen to and really try to get down to the nitty-gritty of it. That's the kind of thing I want to encourage in myself, first and foremost, but also in other people, and you guys have made that a rewarding and worthwhile endeavor over these last 8 years. And I can't thank you guys enough for your continued patronage, as it were, your attendance, your attention, and your argumentation, your generosity. and how much I know that each of you in one way, shape, or form mean to each other as part of this community. Seeing you guys say hi to each other and talking to each other in Discord, and just knowing that between this channel and Lords of the Night and everything else, and some of the derivative things that have happened as a result of that, whether it's P-Dog Knight's channel or the Minions of the Zoo or anybody else that comes around and says, hey, I saw your show and decided to do this or try that. I lack the words, the poverty of my vocabulary to express how grateful I am for all of that and all these years of turning this goofy little channel into something that I look forward to taking part in every day, and I look forward to talking to you guys when I have the chance to. And let's see, Daryl Brewer. To be honest, I didn't know of you until you started coming on Meet and enjoy listening to your conversations. Yeah, again, this is just one of the fun things. And then Misery Machine, there you are with the heart. Love you guys too. Just the surprising and happy connections I've been able to make through this channel across different genres, different viewpoints, different media. It's really gratifying. And like I say, most of the time, if you find me on somebody else's stream somewhere or somebody else's show, I'm probably not saying it, but I'm probably saying something to myself of, I don't know that I should be here. This imposter syndrome, this all so surprising. I would never have predicted it, but I'm so glad that it happened. And here's 8 years, and let's see how many more I can get through with all that's going on in the world. With that, again, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. All of my guests, whether you're in the chat right now listening or in the future, I want to thank Misery Machine, Tom Connors, Satsu 2 Cents, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, Andy Masterson, Script Doctor, Price of Reason, Blind Press. Am I forgetting somebody? I'm probably forgetting somebody. Oh my gosh. In absentia, Mr. Black Pasta, Kurt Metzger, and of course, big thanks to all my OG homies, Sinatra Says, Irate Alex, Tailed Feature, Miss Misa, Porco Dio, who else can I think from the olden days? Gutenberg, The World from Ferg. I'm pulling up some of the Some Dumb American, of course, Ranting Monkey, and special shout out to my niece Aaliyah. Hopefully she's having fun after her 5th birthday. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Moderators, thank you for keeping an eye on things. Even though everyone here is so well behaved, you have very little to do. Everybody who donated, either to myself or, again, at the top of the chat box, the donation link to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Thank you guys so much for what you guys have contributed to that or elsewise. If you're not already, you can follow me on Twitter, Scribe_light, or sorry, on X. It's always about X. And yeah, I don't know how else to better close it out. I guess I could play something. I don't know. What should I play? Oh, how would I play my intro as the outro? Just for old time's sake. How's that sound? So everyone, 8 years gone, more years to come, more projects to undertake. Looking forward to seeing you there. Join us on the Discord, and I'll see you Sunday for the Sunday stream at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll take a look at some news stories of the week, and we'll have some fun there. So everybody, have a good rest of your Friday. Have a good weekend ahead of you. I hope you're all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Scribe.
Wowee, wow, wow.